And the Danes in the crowd certainly appreciate that. You can see the number 6 there, Skolbo, blocking both Kripke and Wilke. There are Kripke on the right and Wilke on the left. And Wilke was blocked in there by Morten Nielsen. Well, it started out as everything to play for over 32 minutes, and then it was all of a sudden everything to play for, level pegging after 24 minutes, 8 minutes to go, and now level pegging with 6 minutes to go, or almost.
It's so exciting, isn't it? These games are what it's all about. This is what people train for years, to play in these sort of competitions, these sort of tournaments. So much on the line. We can't lose the sight of London as well. You know, that ticket to. This isn't just about winning a bronze medal here. Of course, that is what it's all about in terms of the here and now. But it's that bigger picture. Everything else is at stake as well. It's all about composure now. And you can see here how much effort and work Denmark are making Germany do.
43 apiece. 5 minutes and 46 seconds to decide who gets the direct ticket to Paris and who has to go through a qualifying tournament. There could be all sorts of people in the qualifying tournament. Could be either USA or Canada. They're not going to get that one. It's a giveaway, and even that, well, even Jørgensen was not going to corral that one in. And you can see the team in grey, the bench in grey, how much it means to them.
Look at them in the back of shot there, jumping around, excited, look. This is everything. Moments like this. The scores might be level, but the whole idea of who's going to score next is obviously quite literally turned on its head.
Denmark came into this final quarter, not with the momentum, but they had the possession arrow and they had one timeout. So they had 2 advantages in a game that was level pegging. One of those advantages has gone. Germany is now ahead in terms of possession. That's why they lead 44-43. The only advantage that they have in their pocket, the Danes, is the fact that they have a timeout. But momentum very much with the Germans.
It certainly seems that way, doesn't it? And maybe, arguably, a timeout should have been called instead of that long pass being made. It's much better to lose a timeout than to start losing points.
A far cleverer man than I about 3/4 of an hour ago said you can't take them with you these timeouts. No. You need to convert them into points.
Absolutely, and maybe that's what, in hindsight, when they go back and reflect, somebody might be saying that on their little clean-up of how did our competition go.
Well, it's not over yet, but Germany keeping their noses in front, taking care of business.
Look how much it means to everybody. You've got a crowd here that love this sport, some of them massive, avid followers, not just of the teams, but of a love of this sport. Then you've obviously got the people closer to home, where you've got friends and family and travelling fans, and then you've got the bench, and then of course the coaches, and it's almost like ripples in a pond. You know, you've got these people right at the centre of it, but right on the edges, all these ripples spread, and competitions and games like this just get everybody excited for the sport.
Wilke blocked in by the 2 high pointers, but there is a wonderful pick there set by his colleague Stefan Wecker, and that gives him a little route to get through. Krüger and Peters waiting. Are they going to be coming on at some point soon?
Yeah, they're sitting there ready and waiting, so when there's an opportunity to make the substitutions, they will be made. But, you know, when you're sitting on that bench, and you've got to remember it's a team sport, you have the rotations, you have the depth in the squad. It's not just about the 4 players on court, it's everybody on the bench as well. And when you're sitting there and you've got a game like this, the nerves and the adrenaline, because you've got no control. If you're out there on court, you're in control. You're playing the game, the mistakes that you make, like that, for example.
Skolbo saying, it was not me, it was not me, and I do believe it's a turnover. Kripke took a long time, and then it was Jørgensen getting in there, and yes, it was popped out by Wilke.
Yeah, look at
Skolbo saying, my ball, my ball.
Wasn't me, wasn't me. but that's also given Denmark, the Danes, an opportunity to make their substitutions. Now, this is what they wanted to do. Let's see if they can execute.
So Peters has come on, the number 11, as has Kruger, and all of a sudden they are back in front. Every turnover is worth its weight in gold at the moment. So they have got the advantage back, and they've got the momentum back. Look at them boxing the Germans in. And as is often the case, you wait hours for a bus to come, and then all of a sudden two come at once, and that's the case with turnovers.
Yeah, Germany just getting caught so low. You want to be spreading the court out as much as you can on these inbounds, giving yourself space and the ability to not lose the ball and not let the turnovers happen and start getting a bigger gap in the game.
A minute ago, it was dead level. Germany had the momentum, they had the possession advantage, and all of a sudden, Denmark are too clear and still have a timeout. Germany take their coach's timeout.
It's all about now just seeing what, like, it's just so exciting. You know, you've now got Germany have got to do everything they can to get these turnovers now, and you'll see maybe a little bit more reaching, a little bit more need for just creating things, making things happen. And all of a sudden now, it's a make or break situation. We are losing. We need to do everything we can to win, and it means that some of that discipline will go out the window. The reaches will start happening. You might see a few more German players going in the box because of fouls, but that's because it's got to a crunch time. It's a risk worth taking.
It's low percentage, high risks. It's all on the line. We are 3.5 minutes away from the end of this match. One team is going to come off here in 4th place. You don't get a medal for that, and you don't get to go to the Paralympics for that. Everything on the line. Germany had their noses in front 2 minutes ago. It's all changed. Kripke won't have the wheels to get past Peters, and particularly not Fredriksson. Great hands. Herbst gets it back, halves the deficit.
You saw there on the build-up to that, getting over the half was very tricky for Germany. There was all individual battles, man on man, woman on woman, so to speak, and what we had was needing the help, needing the outlets. He went through 3 players.
Fredriksson's got the wheels. He's going to take his time now.
Yeah.
It's not about timestamps, it's purely the fact that they are 1 clear, about to be 2 clear, and every second they can take off the clock is a second during which Germany can't score and can't drag the deficit back.
Yeah. You just want to keep it. If you're Denmark now, you just want to keep it out of Germany's hands for as long as possible. Don't give them the opportunity to score. Denmark gone back for that key defence now. They want Germany to take up as much time as possible. They need Germany to take as long to score as possible.
Point the key, 11.
What have we got?
4 in the key.
Red. Number 11.
Let's have a look.
1, 2, 3 in the key, Fredriksson, and yes, I think Peters, yes, you could see him grimace, and he spun around, but it's not a penalty try, because they weren't certain to score here, Germany, so they now want to score as quickly as possible, but they need to set up for the next play as well.
That's it. So you see there, in the back of your shot, work between Peters. Now, they force Peters to inbound. So this could work in Germany's favour, because it's not the setup that Denmark wants to be playing. They don't want Peters inbounding. Can they make hay on it?
Yes, because he's got clear here. Peters, he inbounded to Fredriksson, and then Fredriksson back to him. And he's going to take his time. That was a huge opportunity, and they couldn't make the most of it, Germany. Great play by Denmark.
Germany again, looking like they're going to have to receive the ball very low. Look how much work they now have to do as a team. They're stuck so low. There's so much court that needs to be covered.
Ball bounces off Becker, and who's going to get this one? Was a timeout called by Peters as he fell to the ground. He had stolen possession, I think. Did he get a timeout call out?
I do hope he did, because that would be fantastic thinking. I need to get this ball at any cost. I know I'm going to fall out when I get this ball. But if you can get that ball under control, on the call, get the timeout.
Because if you fall to the ground holding the ball, then it's a turnover. So did he shout timeout there? Is it a held ball? Is it a jump ball, as you call it? Oh, he definitely got possession of it.
Yeah, well, look, you can see there, you've got everybody's hands are on that ball as it went down. Will the referees argue that he didn't have complete control of that ball?
They are, I think. He's in the bin.
That will be because he, as he was doing that, fell onto a German player. No man-to-man contact. Germany's time to do something.
Less than 2 minutes to go. They need to score quickly because they're currently playing against just 5 points, or 5.5, because 3 is in the bin. They've scored quickly.
They need to. So let's see what they've got. They're looking for a turnover here. They're trying to keep Peters up and away, making that pass as hard as possible. Peters has fought his way down, but now he's got to fight his way back out again.
Wilke blocks him off. They can't just stick it up the jumper, as it were, because if it's a turnover, this is just a 1 turnover game at the moment. And now it becomes a 2-point game. They just need to keep scoring.
92 seconds left. Isn't this exciting? People watching at home, people watching in the stadium here, you know, this is what it's about.
Whoa, it's a risky inbound. It's going to get over there. It's a wheel race, and it is Peters who wins it, and that could be the bronze medal and the ticket to Paris for the Danes. It was a 1 turnover game, and it's gone the way of the Danes, and I think everyone in the crowd here at the Principality Stadium realises it. Outpacing even Herbst.
Germany is so low again. I don't understand why they're having to receive the ball so low. You want to receive the ball as high up the court as you can to give yourself as little court to have to cover once the ball's in play.
Denmark 2 clear with 66 seconds to go.
Still got a timeout as well. If they're in any sort of danger now, they need to make sure that they stay composed, use that timeout. Here we go. I told you there might be a few more reaches, a little bit of trying to make things happen here from Germany. And looks like I was right. They're just trying to make things happen. They need to get a loose ball. They need to put Denmark off their game. And it is a risky tactic. You do end up in the bin more when you're reaching in like that. But you need to do it.
It resets the possession clock, so that's 40 seconds. It's down to 30, and at a push, they can use this final timeout if they decide to. Denmark, they can get the possession clock down to 1 second, call a timeout, stick it back to 15, and that would leave a mere 2 or 3 seconds on the time clock.
With the player off as well, don't forget. So at the moment, if you're looking from Denmark's point of view, they are certainly, they're a person up. There's a lot of points off of court for Germany, so you're in a real strong position. There it is.
1 second left, so timeout taken. Herbst is still in the bin, and that now gives Denmark another 15 seconds on the possession clock, and there are just 18.5 seconds left in this entire match. So if they can just hold on to the ball, which they can, this looks like being the bronze medal for Denmark. Over the line they go, 53-50. They're all going to set up on defence. Herbst comes back in.
You're going to look for a give-go here, a touch, a pass, and a big pass.
Well, they've fulfilled their part of the bargain there, but that is the final possession. And what an incredible match that was, played in an incredible spirit. But it's Denmark who ease past, to just manage to squeeze past Germany, 53-51. They are third, they've got the bronze medal, and they are going to Paris.
Well, fantastic scenes just then. They're not surprising. There was so much riding on this third-fourth playoff, a place in the Paralympics in Paris.
Yeah.
Denmark went in favourites, but Germany put up a hell of a battle. It was neck and neck all the way to the quarter-final. Big collisions, lovely passes, some great tries. We were treated to a feast at Wheelchair Rugby, but in the end, Denmark were just too strong, and it's them that finished third and booked their place in Paris. Manny, great scenes there. Denmark getting over the line in the end. Just give us a quick flavour. You've won this competition 3 times. What are those emotions? I know they haven't got the gold, but qualifying for Paris must mean so much, and we can see it in their faces.
Yeah, definitely. For any athlete, you know, the biggest stage in the world is to play at the Paralympics, and to qualify for these games is huge for these players, and especially the fans out there as well who've come out to support them. You know, it's been absolutely amazing for them. And you know, right now they're going to be celebrating that bronze medal win, but also that qualification.
Well, let's hear from the horse's mouth. Mark Peters, one of the stars of the Danish team, is with us pitch side.
Mark Peters, congratulations! You've won the bronze medal. How do you feel?
I feel terrific. I'm tired now, but it feels really great.
What an incredible game of wheelchair rugby as well. Just breathless towards the end.
Oh yeah, pretty exciting. We knew Germany's gonna come with everything they got, and we just have to keep playing our game, and hopefully we'll win. And we did, but they were pushing very hard all the way to the end. So, sorry.
And not only have you won the bronze medal, you've qualified now for Paris.
Yeah. Well, we are very, very hard at heavy about that. That was one of our goals coming here. So, yeah.
What's this week been like for you and playing here in the Principality Stadium?
Lots ups and downs. We lost to GB and to France, which, yeah, it's always boring to lose. But there were 2 great teams. They deserve to be in the final. So, but it's been amazing to be here. The crowd here has also been amazing, even though we don't play the home team. So, very happy.
Congratulations. Go celebrate with your team. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a very happy Danish team getting their chance in now. Very happy. Mark Peters, tired, but rightfully so. He's had a hell of a week this week, isn't he?
Yeah, he's one of the key players for Denmark, and you know he's happily elated in that interview there. You know, can't contain his excitement. But you know, it's been a real good team, and that was the difference today between the 2 teams, having that depth between the 2. I think Germany played with the same 4 players the whole four quarters, and it kind of worn them out towards the end.
That depth is important, and you know, Mark Peters touched on there. You know, they would go in try for try, and often with these top teams, this is what we see. It goes deep, really tight, and then there's a key moment, a turnover or something like that, that makes a massive difference.
Yeah, I think that Denmark's experience there to score last goals and to slow the game down in key moments was really important. And you see Mark Peters there again, taking the turnovers and capitalising on every one. And that's the key thing, when you get those turnovers, is to capitalise.
Yeah, and he's brilliant at that as well, isn't he? He's very quick, very quick. But it's so important not just to have your Mark Peters on the pitch and your Fredriksson, but also the low pointers as well. The Danish team turned up well across the board, didn't they?
Yeah, I think it was a great team effort. Again, you know, the team rely on these low pointers to create space and to do the picking off the ball. And that's sometimes you don't always see that on the team screen, but it's a key moment for each team.
We're seeing the camaraderie here between the teams. How close do you get with your teammates? You know, you're going through a tournament like this. We know what sport's like. Everyone's got their own backstory as well in the real world. How tight are you with your teammates, and how important is that when you're winning together?
Yeah, very. You live in each other's pockets. You train together, you win together, you lose together. So everything you do is like, it's like a family. You know, you fight every inch of that court for each other, like you do in every sport. And that's the beauty of wheelchair rugby. You know, you're kind of friends for life once you start playing this sport, and it goes from your team to another team as well. So once these teams finish, you have that element of camaraderie again between the 2 teams.
Yeah, and it's great to see it's not just inter-team, it's cross-team as well. Everyone seems to get on really well. They go on tour together, they go to the Paralympics, they come to the European competitions. Yeah. Everyone's good friends.
I think that's what people appreciate. You know, you fight hard on the court, and you might be enemies on that court, but when you finish, you're friends. And you know, that spans across the globe. You know, you play against teams across the world, and when you finish, always a handshake and maybe a beer at the end of it as well.
Yeah, I'm sure Denmark will be going out for a beer now. Commiserations to Germany, congratulations to Denmark. They've qualified for the Paralympics. But the big one this afternoon, 2:30 live on Channel 4, Great Britain versus France, going for gold. We've enjoyed 5 days of brilliant action here in Cardiff. Thrills, bumps and spills as Europe's top 8 teams battles it out for a chance to be crowned European champions.
And it's Britain that are going to go through to the final, the gold medal match, 56 points to 42 against Germany.
And it all comes to a head this afternoon. The hosts, Great Britain, are up against the holders, France, in the grand final at one of the most iconic rugby venues in the world, the Principality Stadium.
Well, Great Britain they are current Paralympic champions, so they're one of the best teams in the world. So, but we know them well, they know us well, so I expect it to be a very, very close game.
Yes, Paralympic champions. We lost to France last year in the European Champions. We want to try and get that trophy back. So it's all about that focus of being European champions again.
Welcome to the Welsh capital for the final of the Wheelchair Rugby European Championships. The Paralympic champions Great Britain made it past Germany yesterday. Today, they face current European champions France, who knocked out Denmark last night. But earlier today, consolation for the Danes, a bronze medal after they defeated Germany in the third place playoff, and that guarantees them a place in Paris at next year's Paralympics. But today is all about European glory as two of its best sides go for gold and the title of European Champions 2023. Hello and welcome all. Happy bank holiday. Welcome to the Principality Stadium, where we've been treated to 5 days of incredible wheelchair rugby. And I'm pleased to say today I'm joined by two GB former heroes, still heroes. It's London 2012 captain Steve Brown and 3-time European champion Mandip Semi. Mandip, what a venue for European Championships.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing to be at the Principality Stadium in this crowd. It's absolutely electric. You know, what a stage for the European Championships. Absolutely brilliant.
Steve, you enjoyed yourself so far, mate? Or do you wish you were out there?
Do you know, I'm sitting there on the sides watching it, and of course you've got that little bit, you don't lose it, you know, I'd love to be out there doing it, but life moves on, times change. Let's let somebody else have a go. But when you're sitting there watching, you're thinking, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. And you're right, it does feel good.
GB making a decent fist of things so far, though, undefeated going to this final, but so are France.
Yeah, and both top their pools, both have got so much to play for. France still being those European champions, whilst GB playing at home, Paralympic champions. It's going to be tricky for both of them, you know, this isn't going to be an easy game.
Look, we know we've got a huge game coming up, but there was also a massive game on Friday night, England versus Wales in the celebrity match. There's a few people here who have, got a background in sport, so they might pick it up quite quickly, but I know that handling a chair takes a bit of time to get used to, and a lot of people here haven't been in a wheelchair before.
The tough bit that I'm going to tell my team is we've got Jim Roberts on the other side.
A little bit worried about what I've got myself into. Hopefully the chair still fits.
We'll try our best, definitely. Come on, Team England.
Well, there is the familiar face of Kylie Grimes, so she absolutely knows what she's doing. The Dirty Sanchez boys. We should have expected that, really. And Tristan Phipps with the bigger reach, wins the tip-off against Jim Roberts. That's a decent start for Phipps. And it's in, and the first score by Lily Rice. Well, goodness me, have they been practicing? Roberts to Di Llewellyn and back to Roberts, and Wales making mincemeat of England at the moment. And look at this, Jim Roberts. Is he going to be unselfish? He is, yes. I thought he might be. Matt Pritchard. Tristan Phipps has got Ed Jackson making a move for him, and if Jackson takes it, which he has, that is a good finish. Jim Roberts, brilliant pickup from Roberts, as you might expect. Again, unselfish to Liam Llewellyn. Is he going to get his strike this time? McIntosh is over, and so is Liam Llewellyn. Oh, Dame Catherine Granger. The Dame is going to cross the line to score here.
We're getting in this chair that delts the biceps, triceps. We're losing 7-1.
Maybe it's going to be the greatest comeback England have ever had at the Principality, who knows?
Jackson. Oh, nice pass. Nice pass. David Tagg from Hollyoaks. Oh, showed a bit of speed. Good technique from Tagg. Oh, what a try this is. Oh, try of the match, surely. Cuts inside, he's lost the ball again, but Wyn Evans is there to collect. Can Kylie Grimes stop him? No, she can't. And there's a heater, and Wales have a 12-8 win.
I get really competitive. You can tell I get really into it. So good win. So yeah, happy.
For me, I certainly underestimated it. I don't know about you. You know, I was using muscles I never knew even existed.
It's very hard. So for them just to see it, see a little glimpse of our life and see what we do, it's amazing.
I have beaten England in the Principality Stadium and won an international cap for Wales. It's getting much better than that.
I think that was Wyn Evans' moment of his life, wasn't it? I mean, we had a lot of fun out there. What do you reckon, though, lads? We're going to make it?
Well, do you know what? I'm glad that you was playing for fun, because I don't think they would be playing for medals, would they, Manny?
You'd get an A for effort, I'll tell you that. You know, you look like you're having fun. The smiles were there. That's the important part.
You're being very kind. I paid one of the editors to cut just me doing good stuff, because the rest of it was absolutely terrible. But that's enough from the celebrity game. Let's get back on to the real thing. Let's have a look at both the teams, because I want to chat to you guys about who the key players, who are we watching out for today?
Well, I suppose for me, I love, I mean, what you've got there in terms of the starting lineup for Great Britain is quite a balanced lineup. You've got players right across the point system, which we'll talk about a little bit more later. But all the time you've got those top players like Stuart Robinson coming on as those strong 3-5s. At the other end of it, you've got players like Johnny Coggan as a 0.5. No, they need to work together to make it work. And Stuart Robinson won't have the space unless Johnny gets his stuff right as well.
Yeah, and Johnny's one of those players who's generally world class. You know, the work he does, his ability to see the game, to be in the right place at the right time is phenomenal. He's such a talented player.
Yeah, and France as well, they've got talent all over the park as well, and Hivenat in particular, their captain, he's been tearing up this week.
Yeah, I think the other player to look at the boys is Cedric Nanikin. You know, for his class, he's so strong and so powerful, and he's so much damage for France.
And he's got a real unique way of pushing as well. You can't miss him on court. Everyone else pushes both arms at the same time. He's all about this one arm then the other, one arm then the other, as he builds up speed and uses his strong core.
Yeah, he's superb. He's very slippery. I'm looking forward to everyone seeing how he plays the game, because it's a little bit different, but it's very, very exciting that we've got a hell of a game up ahead of us. And of course, in comms, you'll explain a bit more about the classifications and all of the rules and stuff, especially for those who are joining us for the first time. Stay tuned, you're going to love it. Right now, let's go courtside, where Drew has caught up with two of the players.
David, what an event to make your European debut. How much have you been enjoying it?
It's just bananas, man. Like, I'm a rugby fan, like rugby injury as well, so to make your European debut for GB Wheelchair Rugby at the Principality Stadium, can't quite wrap my head around it just yet.
Adrien, at the World Championships last year in Denmark, you beat Great Britain in the group stages, you beat them in the positioning matches, so you know all their secrets. They surely can't beat you.
Yeah, but you know, I remember this game and it was really tough, really hard for us, because I remember at the last quarter time we are down by 5. So we did an amazing job at the last quarter time, but we know that GB is really strong. So we know that it will be a 50-50 game. So we are really focused on this final, and really happy as well to play this kind of game, because again, GB is always a great game.
There's certainly a bit of nerves there. It would be wrong for us not to be. Obviously last time out, France were the ones that beat us in the final, but we feel ready. We've put a lot of work in this year. And yeah, I think if we can go out there, stick to our game plan and execute, we can get our title back.
Huge crowds here. How much have they been spurring you on?
It's certainly a lift, like especially in those moments where you need that little bit of extra energy to kind of make it to the goal line or make an effort in defence. They certainly lift you, so it means a huge amount to have our friends, family here. It's amazing.
I'll let you get back to your teammates. Good luck for later on.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
So it's the European champions versus the Paralympic champions at one of the most iconic rugby stadiums in the world. Time for a quick break, more build-up when we get back. What will the emotions be like? Welcome back to the Welsh capital and the Principality Stadium, where we are gearing up for the final of the European Wheelchair Rugby Champions, where Great Britain are playing France. We are just moments away from finding out who will be crowned champions of Europe. It's the highest ranked teams in Europe, the two best teams in Europe and the two unbeaten teams in Europe this week. GB and France are the two heavyweights of Euro 23 as they face off in a repeat of last year's final, with the hosts determined to regain the title from the holders France.
Great Britain win their first match at the European Championships. And Great Britain beat Switzerland 47 points to 31, and it all comes down to the Denmark match. And Great Britain are into the semi-final of the European Wheelchair Rugby Championships.
I just think that we have great depth, great speed, and in the end, as of right now, we're a team that's to beat.
Well, it's Great Britain that have executed their game plan here this afternoon. And it's Britain that are going to go through to the final, the gold medal match, 56 points to 42 against Germany.
Obviously we had not the result that we expected last year over in Paris, so hopefully this year come to put things right.
Champions off to a winning start. France top Group A. What a performance that was.
I think we know how to play them. We know how good they are, but we are good too. So I think it's going to be a very, very exciting game.
These guys have challenged me to become a better coach, but to be challenging each other to rise up and start meeting those areas that they want to be successful in, and to just come around the way they have and to show that hunger.
Maybe I think that they have more pressure than us, so now we just have to have fun and let's see what happens.
On home soil and to go and try and win our championship back from the French. It'd be a good opportunity for us to obviously to play our best game and to go out there and play in front of a home crowd.
Both of us are very strong. But I am confident, but I think they're confident too. So, but we believe in ourselves, and we really think we can beat them.
And then it's going to come down to who really wants it the most. At the end of the day, I have a good feeling that we will come out on top.
Steve, Manny, we're hearing from GB's new coach, Adam Scaturo, and you can see there he's bringing a bit of that American drive and passion, isn't he? He's saying they need it. Whoever needs it the most and wants it the most are going to get over the line. Is that the case from your experience when you've been in these positions in finals? Is it whoever wants it the most wins?
Yeah, I definitely think the team's going to be driven to win, and it's that extra edge they're going to need to get over the line, because it's going to be tough out there today for both teams, and it's going to be that experience that comes through to win the gold. So yeah, either way.
And I've played against Scaturo in the past as well. You know, London 2012, he was there against us, and there's no doubt about it. You know, when you're in the tunnel and stuff like that, having players like Scaturo against you is hard work. So having him on your side's nice.
Plenty of support here as well, have we seen in the crowd. How important are they going to be to lift their team?
Well, it's always nice to have that crowd behind you, isn't it? Any competition, any sport you play, having people that have got your back, friends, family, being able to have the opportunity to come and watch you is all, you know, makes you proud. It makes you feel good, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is why people play sport. You know, is to share it with your loved ones, to see that your family in the crowd and to cheer them on. It's a great feeling. It really is.
Yeah, the tension's building. We can all feel it in here. Time for a quick advert break now, but don't go anywhere, because when we get back, it's time for the European final. We are just moments away from the big final between Great Britain and France. Steve, former captain, I'm going to get you to put your money where your mouth is. Who's going to win this match?
Who's going to win this? Ed, have you got a coin on you? Honestly, it's going to be so close to call, but you know, you've got to go with your heart sometimes on these things, haven't you? GB.
You're going to have to say GB. They're in the tunnels. They're getting ready to go. A massive occasion. We all can't wait for this. I'm going to hand you up to comms so me and Steve can enjoy watching this one. It's Andy Stevenson and Mandeep Semi.
Thank you, Ed. As it should be, the two best teams in the tournament have made this gold medal match. And Cedric Noncan there is one of the French players who we'll be talking about a lot. Best in his 1.5 class at the World Championships last year. And what about this man, Jonathan Yvenin, the French captain. He scored 98 tries in this tournament. So the atmosphere is building, the flags are on their way out, and the officials, Katharina Adler-Dollhofer from Austria and Kristin Hempfling of Germany. And it's a big occasion for them too. Really healthy crowd in here at the Principality Stadium. And for some of you, if you weren't with us yesterday, the last time you watched wheelchair rugby may have been the Paralympic final in Tokyo when Great Britain beat USA by 54 points to 49. But France are the defending European champions. They beat Great Britain by 1 single point in Paris last year. And the French have a Paralympics in their home capital to look forward to in 2024. So the French team are led out by Jonathan Yvenin. He was also in the French Wheelchair Rugby League team that won the World Cup in England against England last year. This is Nicolas Valentin. He was introduced to the sport after a demonstration by this man, Adrien Schaumann, at his school when he was younger. Schaumann played at the Junior World Cup of Standing Rugby in 2005. Rodolphe Jalin wears number 5, plays his club rugby in Toulouse, the hotbed of French rugby. Mathieu Thirier wearing number 7. And Riyad Salem, 52 years old, born in Tunisia, a wealth of experience, a real leader in this French team. Morel wearing number 10, a former footballer before his accident. Jordan Ducret, number 14, discovered wheelchair rugby thanks to a tip-off from his sister. His family are here, I believe, today. Sébastien Verdun. Verdun got involved in the sport because of this man, Corentin Le Gouen, founded a wheelchair club back at home called the Black Chairs. And there are pockets of very loud French support. So Great Britain not going to get all the cheers this afternoon. And there are some calm, resolute faces in this lineup as they wait to come out in front of this partisan Cardiff crowd. The time for talking is over, and here come your Paralympic champions, looking for revenge against the French, led out by Gavin Walker, former firefighter, one of the 2 captains of the side in Tokyo, one of 7 players who played in that Paralympics a couple of years back now. Stuart Robinson will score lots of points, one of the big heroes of the team. And talking of heroes, Jonathan Coggan, Johnny Coggan, his 10th European Championships. Jack Smith, a Leicester Tiger. David Ross from Northern Ireland, we heard from him a few moments ago at the start of the programme. Nick Cummins is another man who was in that Tokyo squad. He tried wheelchair basketball before taking up rugby. Kieran Flynn with the glasses on there, we won't miss him. Jamie Stead wearing 12, one of the best 2.5 players in the world. And Aaron Phipps, usually always grinning, just like that. With the trademark headband on, he will be another big try scorer for Great Britain this afternoon. Daniel Kellett wearing number 14, made his international debut at last year's European Championships. And wait for the cheer for Coral Beatty, 28 years old yesterday, and she is Great Britain's only female player at this championship. She was part of the GB women's squad that won the Women's World Cup in March. So the British lineup is complete, and the final high fives will be done. And for the only time this afternoon, the atmosphere will go hushed as we prepare for the national anthems. Sung with gusto on a patriotic weekend for Great Britain, who will be crowned kings of European wheelchair rugby. Let's take a look at the Great Britain lineup, and the 4 players highlighted in gold there will be the quartet that start the match. So Stuart Robinson, Jamie Stead, Nick Cummins and Johnny Coggan in order of their points classification. And the higher points classification players are the more agile, the more mobile, the speedy attacking players with a less severe degree of impairment. And the French are led by Jonathan Yvenin. As I said, 98 tries so far at this tournament. Also Cedric Nonquin, Sébastien Verdun and Corentin Le Gouen. And the French have some final motivational words from Yvenin. Semi alongside me. What are these moments like for a player before a big final like this?
Yeah, this is the part where the nerves are coming in and the experience is coming in as well. When that whistle blows, they're going to be ready to go. I mean, both teams are very experienced, and you can see that from Stuart Robinson, the determination in his face. He's ready to go. He's ready to kick it.
France beat Great Britain by 1 single point in last year's Euros. Do you think it's going to be just as close this time around?
Yeah, definitely. Both teams are in form, and they're both unbeaten coming into this tournament, so it's going to be a real tough matchup. I'm expecting it to go all the way.
So this is a sport of aggression, skill, teamwork. The lower point players will be doing the defensive work, the blocking, the positioning, and the higher point players will be the ones usually scoring the tries. But every player on the court doing a valuable job, a little bit like the combination of backs and forwards in standing rugby. Every position counts. So we are going to have 4 8-minute quarters. The ball, when it goes out of play, will stop the clock though, so a match will last about 90 minutes. Here we go then for the final of the European Championships. And it's France in the blue who win the first tip-off, and it goes straight to Yvenin. And as Steve Brown described in the studio, that method, that style of wheeling the chair using 2 arms, but a good start for Great Britain.
Yeah, that's a great time-out straight away. France putting the pressure on the halfway line, and they've had to force the time-out straight away, which is great for Great Britain.
So both teams will have 4 timeouts for the match. But 1 gone already for France. But the ball forward to Yvenin. So here he comes, and look at the players ahead of him doing the blocking, a little bit like in NFL American football. There's plenty going on.
Yeah, great work again there from GB in the key defence. They force Jonathan Hibbert to go up on one wheel, and then Sheila Robinson follows up, and there's an equipment call here.
And the two chairs ended up getting locked together here. I know some of you yesterday heard me describe this sport a little bit, and certainly the chairs a little bit like Robot Wars, if you remember that programme. These chairs are sturdy and aggressive. They just don't have the fireworks and flamethrowers associated with Robot Wars. Here is Ivanat coming forward, challenged by Robinson. Coggin is there as well, doing vital blocking work as well. Chair-on-chair contact, absolutely welcome and encouraged in this sport, but you are not allowed to make body-on-body contact. Great play by the French. Sebastien Verdun goes over for the first try of the match. And Mandit, the crucial thing to tell people at home, if they're not aware, there is a shot clock in wheelchair rugby.
Yeah, just similar to basketball, so there's a shot clock that starts at 40 seconds. So you have 12 seconds to progress over the half, and then 40 seconds to score a goal. So very much a time-based game, which makes it more exciting and more quick to play.
And Great Britain off the mark, thanks to Jamie Stead. Made his debut for Great Britain nearly a decade ago now, did Stead. Plays for the Leicester Tigers. France in their own key. Oh, what defence that is from the Brits. They pushed Verdun back over his own line.
It's such an amazing start for Great Britain, really aggressive on defence. Again, forcing another timeout from the French team. The French are really under pressure here, and GB have started amazing.
So just explain to us why Verdun called a timeout then as he's being pushed over the line.
Yeah, so he caught the ball right on the baseline, and you're not allowed to go outside the lines with the ball. And the pressure there, he had a choice to either go out of bounds and cause a turnover, or to call a timeout and to regain possession. So it's better to keep the ball and to start again.
Believe it or not, we've not even played a minute yet. But it is all action, and the French being down to 2 timeouts only already is a big blow to them, as Verdun gets past one challenge. Looks like he's going to get past Robinson as well, so 2-1 to the French, and the scoring will be quick fire, to and fro. There will not be a moment to breathe until we get towards the end of the quarter. Good skills there from Verdun.
It's been a blistering start from both teams, and you can see Jamie Stead here slowly working with Jonathan Coggin. But he's forced to do a timeout as well. Great work there from Jonathan Hibbert.
So that is one of the specific rules you need to be aware of. The 40-second shot clock also has a 12-second clock for a team to get out of their own half. That's right.
Yeah, Jamie was coming close to 12 seconds there. He had to get over the halfway line, and he was just caught out, and he didn't want to take the risk, so the timeout was a safe option. But both teams under pressure here. They're going for blow for blow.
If he hadn't got over the halfway line there and called timeout, then possession would have swapped over to France.
Exactly, it would have been a turnover for French possession.
It's going to be Nick Cummins over there with the put-in. Robinson back to Cummins, who tried out wheelchair basketball to begin with, moved on to wheelchair rugby, and look at him now, and Stead is just over the line. Stead taking that ball just in time, I think.
Yeah, to score a try, you have to have 2 wheels over the line and be in control of the ball, and that was close to the edge, but it was a great try from Stead.
Easily the biggest atmosphere we have had inside this Principality Stadium this week, as Verdun whizzes down that left wing. He's got Ivanat inside him. Oh, Ivanat just weaves through easy as you like, and that style of one wheel then the other is quite unique, isn't it?
Yeah, he's such a smooth and silky player when you watch him move. He uses his trunk to push his chair, so that side-winding movement he does gives him that elusiveness on court. Great to see.
So Robinson comes forward, he's got Stead up ahead of him, and Stead just takes Ivanat out of the game to open up a pathway for Stuart Robinson. Came to wheelchair rugby through the Invictus Games, having lost his legs in Afghanistan while serving for the RAF. Verdun under pressure again, near his own key, but here comes Ivanat. Left, right, Ivanat with great speed. And it's another score for the Frenchman.
Both teams are starting to settle down. Then we're going try for try now, end to end, and this is where the action begins.
And you can just see how crucial possession is, because teams are expected to score every time they have the ball. And as I say, that was a turnover for the French. Careless pass from Robinson, and it comes to Verdun. And they've scored against the head, if you like, there. It's almost like a break point in tennis.
Yeah, just under pressure on the sideline there. Robinson went for the pass, it was just intercepted there by him. put under pressure.
So 5-3 to the French. We haven't even played 3 minutes yet. Here's Jamie Stead. Jamie Stead gets past Evenat, who doesn't bother making a challenge. He knew Stead was going to be too good for him. So the deficit now back down 2-1. Great Britain have won this European Championship 7 times, looking for an 8th title. And they are Paralympic champions, but Great Britain disappointed at the World Champs last year when Stuart Robinson had to pull out of the squad at short notice because of COVID. Even making it look tremendously easy once more. But it's really not easy, Mandip, to be manoeuvring your chair out there, thinking about holding the ball, passing, looking up at your teammates, etc.
Yeah, it's made to look easy because the guys that are low pointers, which you don't see always on the screen, they do all the hard work, they do the picking and the blocking to make these guys with the ball the space for them to score the tries.
Yeah, I heartily recommend that whilst players going on maybe don't always follow the ball at home, have a look at what's going on ahead of the ball with the blockers and the low point players doing crucial work, as well as these guys who are going to whiz down the wings and score a lot of the tries. Verdun puts the brakes on, comes back, Noncan you see there, goes in on Robinson, and that allows Verdun to weave through textbook wheelchair rugby play there.
Yeah, great skills there. He did all the hard work to get over the halfway line, took a breath, took a bounce, because you have to bounce the ball every 10 seconds or you have to pass off every 10 seconds. And he got over the halfway line, then attacked again to score that try.
Robinson will hold on to the ball here and then burst through himself. So Robinson sees the space and makes the most of it, plays for West Coast Crash. Stuart Robinson, and as I say, he missed the World Championships, and Great Britain didn't really get used to the idea of playing without him in that particular tournament, but he's back.
Yeah, it's like any big sport. If you take one of the key players, the big players out of the squad, it makes it very difficult to perform in the same way. As much as the rest of the players try and rise up to the challenge, it can be very difficult to take out one of these big players, these 3-5s.
So these two finalists, well, certainly Great Britain making sure of their spot at the Paralympics next year. France were already qualified as hosts, and Denmark, who won the bronze medal match earlier, also definitely going to be in Paris next year. Robinson with the ball in his lap, looking for just a window of opportunity to get through. Now, this is 4 in the key. Explain this to us, Mandip.
Yes, you'll see the key in between the try line. There's a rectangle box on each side, and that's called the key. And you're only allowed 3 defensive players at the time. 3 defensive players at the time in there. So when the 4th goes in, it's called 4 in the key, and that player goes into the sin bin.
It's the equivalent of parking the bus in football, isn't it? You wouldn't be allowed to put like 7 footballers across the goal line, essentially. So you can't have all 4 defensive players in that red painted area known as the key, and that's why the referee called that infringement.
We've had subs in, and you can see Aaron Phipps and Jack Smith have come on. It should change the dynamics of the game again, because Phipps is a very powerful strength player, and he comes in with a lot of pace, a lot of aggression.
So this is a high-low combination for Great Britain, with Robinson and Phipps on the same court at the same time as Coggan and Jack Smith. Here is Phipps, the man with the headband. He's also done the London Marathon twice, climbed Mount Kilimanjaro as well, Phipps. He's showing off really, isn't he? But one of the favourites amongst the squad as Verdun crosses the line again for France. So it is 9-7 to France, a 2-point deficit, nothing to worry about yet for Great Britain. Let's just nip down to the touchline and bring in Steve Brown. Steve, what are you making of it so far?
Isn't it exciting? So much going on out there, and the pace of the game. Both teams have come into this. Oh, wow. So what we've got here is a fantastic press from France, forcing GB to take a timeout. It's better to take the timeout and lose one of them than lose the ball.
So 9-7 to France during this timeout. We'll hear more from Steve throughout the match. There's the British head coach, Paul Shaw, known as Pez. What kind of coach is he, Mandip?
Yeah, he's a good coach. He's been leading the team. Obviously, they won gold in the Paralympics in Tokyo, so he stayed on to win gold here.
Mandip Semi, who's been to 3 Paralympic Games with Great Britain. Look at them go. Phipps versus Verdun. Phipps wins on this occasion. The acceleration there from Aaron Phipps, quite something. Phipps had meningitis when he was a teenager.
And these are key battles you're going to see Jonathan against Phipps. You know, they're both fast players, and Phipps is just letting him know he's there with that speed.
So interesting that Great Britain have made changes. France also 1 or 2 new players on the court, including this man, Mathieu Thirier.
Great, Hansen saw that try there, taking the pressure off his team.
Thirier also one who tried wheelchair basketball, but his specific disability made basketball difficult, so he switched to wheelchair rugby. And Robinson now with Smith alongside him, acting as a decoy, and Robinson goes over. He's always got his game face on, hasn't he, Robinson?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about the game. It was designed in the 70s because the players couldn't play basketball competitively, and that's where wheelchair rugby was conceived.
And it is brilliant to have a Paralympic sport that has real aggression involved in it. Verdun with Ivanat ahead of him. The pass will come across surely, and Ivanat, a great take from him. So over he goes, and the deficit is 2 points again for the French. Yeah, fascinating that Ivanat also played wheelchair rugby league. Completely different sport, different rules. And what a success that World Cup was last year, but this European Championships in the Paralympic wheelchair rugby has also been incredibly successful here in Cardiff. And a Great Britain win this afternoon would round things off nicely from a home perspective, but it is the French who lead currently, 11 points to 10. Even now with the ball in his lap there, has to bounce it or pass every 10 seconds. And look at that, like a knife through butter. This guy is special.
Yeah, Jimmy tried to run a key defence there where 3 of the players went back, but unfortunately, him was just a bit too quick. They got round the back of Jack Smith.
32 years old, Ivanat has got married tooth disease and neurological disorder. Phipps has all the time in the world here to cross the line.
Yeah, again, you can see Jack Smith and Jonathan Coggan did all the hard work to lock up the French high pointers, allowing the space for Phippsy to run into.
So as we move into the last 2 minutes of this quarter, possession at the end of the quarter will be all important. You don't want to... oh, look at that, beautiful. He's been kept in his own half by Phipps.
That was beautiful. I mean, you can see there, Phippsy just turned around and put a lot of pressure on him, but he couldn't make the pass off. Turned his chair as he wanted to, and then continued the pressure in his face. Beautiful. Love it.
Look at Phipps yelling in the face of Ivanat. It's good stuff. I said it's aggressive. It's great to see a Paralympic sport with real needle.
Yeah, that's what you're going to see, that pressure and that passion coming in. These guys are fighting for it.
So even I couldn't get out of his half in the 12 seconds that you have to do that.
Just want to pick up, we're in the first quarter, and GB have 2 timeouts left, and France only have 1. It's been an entertaining first quarter, to say the least.
That's a great spot, and that will come into play later in the match, definitely. Ivanat looking to Verdun, great pass and a wonderful take from Verdun. Can Phipps stop him? No, he can't. So 13-11 is now the score. So just explain to us, Amanda, with the 40-second shot clock here, play may start to slow down at unusual points, and we might see players really putting the brakes on. Why would they be doing that now as we enter this final 90 seconds?
So a key part of the game is clock management. It's huge. You can have a 2-goal swing if you do it right. So the team will try and score here now between 55 and 50 seconds, which ensures, you know, France get the next possession, and ensures GB have the last possession to score that last goal. And there's something called the possession arrow. So when the tip-off is taking place, the team that doesn't win the ball gains the possession arrow. So if it's in your favour, you can actually get a 2-goal swing by scoring that last goal. So it can be huge in a close game.
So a minute left in the quarter on the match clock, and France will have another set, if you like, of 40 seconds to score. And that would leave Great Britain around 20 seconds potentially to score. What a turnover! Coggan hugging the ball, and there's surely hands in there.
It's a timeout. Oh, that was a great play. Aaron Phipps just tips the ball away, and John Coggan's there to sweep it up. And before anything can be done, he's given a hug to try and grab the ball off him, and he's called the timeout. Great call.
And an illustration there of the importance and the value of the low point players as well. We might not be seeing them scoring all the tries and getting all the glory, but look at Coggan fighting there in his 10th European Championships. He made his debut for Great Britain at Athens 2004, would you believe?
Oh, beautiful. So 4 in the key called there. A great hit. It's it'll put the player into the sin bin now because it's 4 in the key, which would allow GB to have a power play, a 4-on-3 attacking this key.
Well, a turning point in this quarter because France have been ahead virtually the whole time, but Great Britain have essentially a power play here. And the shot clock goes back to 40 seconds. So again, they will use up as much of that clock as they possibly can. Just going back to Coggan, by the way, he watched the Sydney Paralympics from his hospital bed after he's injured in a car crash, and then made the Athens Paralympics 4 years later in wheelchair rugby.
I was actually in the bed next to him. We were both injured at the same time, and it's amazing to see Johnny. You know, he started before me. He was part of the squad going to the Athens Paralympics, and he's still here, still going for the next one. It's amazing.
So Great Britain just counting down the clock here, and they will try to score as close to the end of the shot clock as they possibly can. They do have to be careful though. Possession would change if they can't score here. Oh, wonderfully worked between Robinson and Phipps with 5 seconds left on the shot clock and only 13 left in the quarter.
Yeah, teams always take that risk at the end of the quarter, try and score that last goal, because if it's not executed, it can be pretty detrimental to the game. But they've done it. They've tied the scores up to 13-all, which is perfect.
So some repairs here to Stuart Robinson's wheel. The technicians come out from the Great Britain team, and a full supply of wheels and tyres and tools on the touchline for all of the teams here this week in Cardiff. Those 13-all. France have 12 seconds now to try and get ahead again before the end of the quarter. Looking for Dango, the speed past Coggan. Oh, what a score by France, and what a time to do it.
Yeah, that's something we didn't want to see, is France scoring that last goal. At least 5 seconds for GB to try and get this goal in now.
What can Britain do in the closing 5 seconds? Hail Mary pass from Robinson, but it goes straight to Nonkan, who will put this up his jumper. And it means that in this European Championship gold medal match, it is the French, the defending champions, that lead Great Britain 14 points to 13. We'll go for a quick ad break. Do not go anywhere.
Welcome back. Well, what a first quarter we've got here. France just ahead by 1 try, 14 to 13. Steve.
It's electric, eh?
Electric.
Isn't it? So fast, so much pace. And then you got moments like this. Johnny Coggan played a blinder.
Oh, Fipsy hugging his mate.
Yeah, that's it. You know, when you talk about that contact, it doesn't exist when it's your own teammates. So you can come in there like the big bear that Fipsy is, just hound, get that ball off of Johnny. Johnny doesn't want the ball. Fipsy knows that Johnny doesn't want the ball. Let's get in there and get it off him.
And just to explain briefly for people who don't watch the sport, why wouldn't Johnny want the ball?
Well, everyone's got their roles, everyone's got their places. Now, Johnny's disability means that he is a low-point player, arguably the best low-point player in the world, but he's not a man that wants the ball.
Okay, here we go, second quarter. Can GB get back in the game? Let's hand you back to your commentators, Andy and Seb.
Go, Johnny, go, is what we say up here. Johnny Coggan with a brilliant moment in the limelight there in that first quarter. So Great Britain start the second quarter with possession and a chance to get back on terms straight away. Phipps opening the path up for Robinson. We see that so often. And straight away, 14 seconds into this second quarter, we're back level again. Both teams only one timeout left, which is going to be significant later. Up to the number 14, Jordan Ducret, who's come on. Ducret to even up.
There's a great little pass off there under pressure. He did really well there because they're about to get really hammered by the high pointers, Phippsy and Robinson, but he did really well to pass off.
Oh, watch that shimmy, that drop of the shoulder, just like you'd see in standing rugby union here inside the Principality Stadium. So this time, Coggan is the recipient of a long pass, and he has got the time and space to cross the line. Johnny Coggan.
Always in the right place at the right time.
Brilliant stuff. Johnny Coggan plays his club Wheelchair Rugby in London. So France take a slight pause, but not much of one, and even that has the ball deep in his own territory again. There's a gap for him to come through here. Even now turning back. Getting a bit blocked in here. He needs to be careful. He can't go back over that halfway line. But there's damage, I believe, to a chair somewhere.
Yeah, sounded like a puncher there, so an equipment call. So which means the team out for GB will be there to change the wheel.
Can you tell straight away?
Oh man, you hear it. They're high pressure tyres, and when they go, it's like a gunshot on court. So it goes straight away, and the team are out there really quickly to change the wheels over, a bit like a Formula 1 team.
We haven't seen Riyad Salem out there for France yet. He is their 3.5, or one of their 3.5 players, which would mean a bit of a rejig in terms of the points classification of the quartet, as we see Cedric Noncat crossing the line. Noncat, who was born with his disability, affecting both his arms there and his legs as well.
Yeah, he's such a great player for France, so powerful and strong, and he's able to take out players like this. He's putting a lot of pressure on. Stuart Robinson almost gets the steal, but Jack's there to take the ball forward. And a beautiful pass across to Phipps.
Smith to Phipps, and Phipps will score. 16 points all, no quarter being given here whatsoever. And I mentioned at the start of the match that France beat Great Britain in last year's European final by a single point, and you already get the feeling this one could be just as tight.
So Phipps signalling there to referees, both hands on shoulders for equipment, and it looks like another wheel.
Phipps gets through more wheels than a Formula 1 team by himself, doesn't he?
To be honest, the speed he goes at, the impact he takes, it's a given. He's going to get through a few wheels.
Just a word about Noncat here, because it's amazing how he pushes the wheels there. He does have a couple of digits on those arms, but it's, I think even for us, you know, watching as disabled people ourselves, we can take our hat off to him.
Yeah, it's his skill level as well, you know, his ability to read the game and to be in the right place at the right time is amazing. A very strong, powerful player.
So we've seen this before, Ivanat crossing the line. Number 5, Rodolphe Jalin has come on for France as well, plays his rugby, as I mentioned, in Toulouse, Stade Toulousain. He's Jalin's club. And is it Jalin with the... No, it's not Jalin with the repair being done here.
Yeah, that's the importance of having a bit of depth in your squad. You know, there's 12 players per team, only 4 are allowed on court, so it's rolling subs, so we can have to take breaks, and that keeps players fresh and keeps the game fresh for them as well.
Great Britain with the inbound. Straight to Robinson, and Robinson finds the gap. So this will be an easy score.
Yeah, just a little drop of the shoulders there from Robinson, just to create a bit of space, and then to accelerate out. Beautiful play.
France did lose in the quarterfinals of the World Championships. They were only 6th at the Tokyo Paralympics, but you feel with the Paras in Paris next summer, they've really been building towards that, and as a result, Their form has improved, and it helps when you've got this man here, although it's a great pass by Jarlin. Let's not overlook the pass, but Ivanhoe seems to just finish absolutely everything.
Yeah, he's a key player for France. He's at the heart of their team, and everything they do well, he's there. Whether it's a pass-off or a try being scored, he's always there. Amazing player.
So France keep nudging ahead, and then Great Britain keep equalising. Coggan goes over for another score, very popular with the crowd here in Cardiff.
Johnny doing really well there to spread the court and to score an easy goal. But again, France follow up again with an easy pass off, and it really is end-to-end at the moment.
It is. It's like a basketball match. It's like a wheelchair rugby match. This is what it is. It's end-to-end. It's to and fro.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of wheelchair rugby. You don't really celebrate the goals. It's more you celebrate the turnovers because they don't turn up as much. The goals are almost a given. You're expected to score.
There's lots of unique elements of this sport, and here is a unique man, Johnny Coggan, going over again for another try.
He's having the game of his life, honestly. And this is why he is world class.
40 years old, Johnny Coggan, wearing number 2 there, and there is a timeout here. Timeout called by Great Britain.
Yeah, it's a coach's timeout now, so you're going to have a bit of a discussion. Might want to rejig things.
Yeah, so that doesn't take away a timeout. The timeouts that are left are ones that the players call on court.
Yeah, it's just interesting for GB because they've brought in Adam Scaturo, who's the new assistant coach, and he's a US player, so he's a former Paralympian. Comes with a lot of experience and a lot of ideas from the US team, and he's changed the dynamics in the team for Great Britain as well.
So Great Britain have had a chat and a slight rejig. Stead is out there, I can see, and Nick Cummins as well.
So GB setting up a key defence now, try and force France into a set-piece play.
Ivanhoe can get through it, doesn't matter to him. He is the magic man for France, definitely. Only actually a 3.0 play, not a 3.5. That will be to do with his specific impairment and how it affects him. Now it's on the court, a step fumbles, and fumbles are costly in this sport, just like in basketball. Here comes Ivanhoe.
Yeah, Jamie Stead just took his eye off the ball there and didn't gather it before he started to push.
Came off his back, really, didn't it, for Stead, or maybe even the back of his head.
It's a costly mistake, but let's see if France can capitalise.
So Ivanhoe, the referee has spotted something here because Ivanhoe was on his way across the line.
Blue, 14.
So a timeout's been called there. I think one of the French players might have been caught in the key. So as an offensive player, only allowed in the key for 10 seconds. Any longer than that, it's a turnover. So rather than getting caught out, I think the player calls a timeout.
So the player who is stuck in the key is the one to go, hold on a minute, I need to do something about this, and
yeah,
calls for a timeout.
Well, it doesn't have to be that player. Any player on the team can see it, so they can call it for them as well. But if you're stuck in there, you want to get out there or call that timeout.
And that is the last player called timeout that France had, and we're not even at half-time. So that will come into play perhaps later on.
Oh, it's going to be set up for a great game now, because without timeouts, you're going to see a lot more passes that are going to be on the edge as teams are put under pressure.
Steve Brown, former Great Britain captain, down on the touchline. That lack of timeouts could come back to haunt France.
Certainly could. There's no doubt about it. They've been under so much pressure from Great Britain. But the thing is with timeouts, very often players think, oh, I can't use it yet, I'll save it for later. Truth is, you don't want to save timeouts, you want to save the ball, you want to keep the ball, you want to save possession. So using those timeouts when you need them, even if it is in the first quarter, is essential to making sure you don't lose the lead.
Because Mandip now, the seesaw of possession, Great Britain will find themselves 2 points down every time France score rather than just the one a couple of moments ago.
Yeah, they've been put under pressure, and I think GB here putting France under pressure might get a turnover. It's a big ball over, here we go.
Oh, Robinson went in on Nonkamp, but Ivanhoe was there to clear up. That was absolutely superb play by Ivanhoe, because I think he sensed the danger there that Robinson versus Nonkamp would have gone in the British players' favour.
Yeah, you'll see high pointers, they come to rescue. We saw it early on with Phipps coming to rescue Johnny Coggan, and again Hibbinet's there to save his low pointer and to rescue that ball.
That being said, there was a bit of fortune about that the ball bounced off, I think, Noncan's chair straight to Ivanat. It didn't bounce off at an awkward angle. Long pass this time to Cummins. What a score that is. But it does only bring Great Britain back within one.
We're definitely playing on the edge, I'll tell you that.
I think we're all on the edge here, man, to be honest with you. Look at that pass. Perfectly judged. Well, this is by far, I think, the best match we've seen here all this week, and it is apt that it is the gold medal match. As France come forward with their number 14, Jourdain Ducret.
And the GB players will look to pressure this. It looks like it'll almost be a jump ball. That is a jump ball. Great pressure there from Great Britain. So a jump ball occurs when two players from the different teams have possession of the ball, and you can't determine whose ball it is. The referee calls a jump ball.
It's a stalemate situation, really, isn't it? And as the hands all go in there to grapple the ball, just a reminder that you are allowed to flick the ball away or hit the ball away out of your opponent's hands, but you're not really allowed to make bodily contact with their arms or hands.
Yeah, that's correct. So it's full chair contact, which is encouraged, but no bodily contact at all. And France regained possession here because the possession arrow was in their favour, which is basic safety.
So Ivanat maintains the 2-point deficit for France. Started this match with 98 tries for the tournament, and he's up to 108 now, which is just crazy. Here comes Aaron Phipps, though. So he'll quickly make it 22-23. It really is on a knife edge, this European final. France have beaten Great Britain within the last 12 months since that European Championships. They've also beaten the USA as well, who are the Paralympic silver medalists. So France in tip-top form. And Verdun is back out there. Verdun has Noncan ahead of him, putting in the blocks. Verdun finds the way through, needle through the thread.
Yeah, he's done great work there. Phipps tried to stop him on the first push, and he's worked his way through, took time to score that try. Great work.
So France had all their players committed further up the court, so this is an easy score for Aaron Phipps. Plenty of British support, who some of them have made a massive effort with their outfits. I'll tell you that.
It's great to see the crowd get involved. You know, the atmosphere in here is absolutely electric. It's what you want for a championship final.
Verdun in his own corner there. He does well, actually, to give it to Ivanat, and it's game over in the sense of this particular move.
Yeah, he took a lot of pressure there, both from GB high pointers, and was able to pass off. That calmness and composure is key at this level.
And it is not an easy sport to come back from a deficit. We saw a fantastic recovery earlier on from Switzerland against Netherlands in the playoff for 5th, 6th place. But in general, it is tough, isn't it, to come back from maybe 3-4 down.
Yeah, these teams are so experienced. Once they go tries off, it's very difficult to come back. They'll slow the game down and you know, keep possession and make it very difficult and frustrating the other team.
Ivanat with that left-right style, which just gives him so much acceleration. Phipps has done well to get a hand in there. Ivanat manages to get away from him because of some help for Ivanat from Le Guen.
Yeah, Phipps reaching in for the jump ball. To get a jump ball, you have to have your hand on the possession of the ball clearly for a second or more. It's a little bit of a referee's discretion there. But yeah, France escape.
I wouldn't mind seeing Phipps against Ivanat in a straight race to see who is the quicker player. Meanwhile, Johnny Coggan, he's not used to scoring this many tries in a match, and he's picked the European final to do it.
No, it's great work from Johnny. He's being the outlet, which is taking the pressure off the team, allowing the rest of the team to switch out to defence.
It is a switch in strategy, really, to leave Coggan, one of the low-point players, up there, and keep Phipps and Robinson back. But it is working as far as Johnny Coggan's concerned. Anyway, look at the trouble. Ivanat's in again. Oh, there could have been an opportunity for a turnover there. Still a chance here. Noncan versus Jack Smith. And in the end, it's number 44, Le Guen, who gets the ball. He's hit from behind by Phipps, and there are hands everywhere. Noncan takes it, literally passes it to Ivanat. Not even throwing it to him, just passing it to him. And Ivanat almost smiling over there, that passage of play.
The French team are just soaking up all that pressure. And yeah, great work there. They're getting the rubber green as well, to be honest. And every ball that's bouncing in between players is going into French hands.
This is superb wheelchair rugby, it really is. We have seen a bit of everything. Great skill, speed, strength, aggression.
So just out of shot there, we've got Johnny Coggan being picked up. He's been taken down.
Coggan on his back.
I think he's ticking every box in the game today, scoring tries, being on his back, getting cuddles. He's doing it all today.
That did seem to happen off the ball. Might see over there on the far side, yeah, it's a slow topple. And it is remarkable, isn't it? We've said this a couple of times this week, that for such an aggressive physical sport, there are very, very few injuries.
Yeah, I mean, coming out your chair is part of the game, and it's something you enjoy doing. So when you have a good hit and you take a player out, it's a beautiful thing. But you don't get any injuries because the chairs take the impact. You're more likely to put a shoulder muscle from not warming up properly, which is not heard of in this game.
So Robinson, he's not having a breather. I mean, in a sense he is, but again, it comes back to counting this clock down. You can see the shot clock going down, and Great Britain will want to score anywhere around the kind of 50, 55 seconds left mark. This is also a set piece play from the training court.
Yeah, it's a critical moment in the game. GB really needs to score this try.
7 seconds to go on the shot clock. He needs to get across here or get the ball to Phipps. Quickly, Jack Smith.
What a great play, what a great play. Jack Smith in the right place at the right time to score that try, taking the pressure off. 48 seconds to go, it's a French ball.
Goodness me. Those two wheels he needed to get over the try line went over with milliseconds to go. So 27-26, France lead.
This is great defence from GB. And it's a loose ball.
Oh, the ball's gone loose. So France don't make that advantage pay. 32 seconds left in the half.
We knew this wasn't over.
So Britain get the turnover. And now they have 32 seconds here to get back on terms at half-time.
So if GB are able to score this try, they'll gain possession in the next quarter to take the lead, essentially. This is why slowing down the clock at the end of the game is so important to score this last try.
Wheelchair rugby does not get better than this on a knife edge. Just over 10 seconds to go. Can Great Britain level things up at half-time? There's a gap there for Robinson. Surely he's going to hang on, though. Count down the clock. And at over with 3.5 to go, France surely can't get back up the other end in 3.5 seconds. We have a tied game, and Great Britain will take possession after the half-time break. Huge long pass up, but Johnny Coggan takes the ball, and it will be a level playing field at half-time. What a recovery from Great Britain. And in this gold medal match at the European Championships, it is 27 points all. We'll be back in a few moments.
So half-time here in the final of the European Championships. The two best teams in Europe, and my gosh, aren't they living up to the billing. It has been neck and neck all game. Then the French took the lead in the middle of the second quarter, but Great Britain have fought back with an unbelievable finish to take it into half-time all square. Steve, I'm quite glad we had an ad break then, because we finished that, my heart was in my mouth, and I probably couldn't have spoken.
No, there was something magical, wasn't there, at the end of that? You've seen all the way through this first half how much every decision matters. Every little move, whether you're going to be going to pick for your players, if you're going to push, if you're going to block, all of that comes together, and everyone's got to be on the same page. There's no point in you passing if the rest of the team don't know that they've got to be there to catch the ball. If you decide that you're going to come back and pick, you need to let your team players know every player is worth 25% of the team, which is a huge part when you look at other team sports.
Yeah, and it was a story of momentum, wasn't it? But there were some key moments that really swung that momentum in GB's favour.
Yeah, I mean, for me, first halves have all been about Johnny Coggan. You look at him there, completely out of his position, having the ball there. He doesn't want the ball. His teammates don't want him to have the ball, and Phipsy comes in and wrestles it off of him. And then you've got this here now. You've got Jack, he's another the low pointer, having to play the middleman there because both Phipsy and Stuart Robinson were tied up. They needed to put the ball somewhere, and Jack was the option. And again now you can see the work here going in, all under pressure. Johnny Coggan there coming, working low. Everybody gets out, working up the court. Who's the outlet again? Johnny Coggan.
Look at the pace of him, Johnny.
The choices that he has to make. Am I going to pick for the man, or is it a lost hope? Or am I going to make some space and push my way out, give him an option to pass?
And the more you watch this incredible sport, the more you notice those little things and the work people like Johnny Coggan and Jack are doing. It's incredible. Absolutely loving it. So we can't wait for an amazing second half. Earlier on today, we saw the bronze medal match between Denmark and Germany. So Denmark got the win against the Germans. It was a massive match as well, because whoever won this game confirmed their place for the Paralympics in Paris next year. So here are the final standings. Well, they're not the final standings because number 1 and number 2 are missing, but Czech Republic finished in 8th. They put very valiant effort in, but didn't manage to win a game. Netherlands and Switzerland in 6th and 5th, and then we just saw Denmark beating Germany to take 3rd spot. So who's going to finish 1st and 2nd? We're going to find out after the break. Welcome back to the final of the European Rugby Wheelchair Championship. Steve, as a former captain of GB, they finished really strongly at the end of that first half. What would have been your messages to the guys at half-time?
For me, first thing I'd have done is said, right, take a minute to yourself, take some time, get some water on ball, get some air in your lungs and get your heads clear. Because there's no point in talking to people until they're ready to be spoken to when there's so much going on. And then once everyone was settled, it's time for a chat. It's all about consistency now, trusting your teammates, make sure that you know what you're doing, believe they know what they're doing, and you will get what you want.
And what will the French team be looking to do? Because, of course, they lost momentum, but half-time probably came at a good time for them, didn't it?
Yeah, they did. They lost the bounce of the ball, so to speak, and now they're going to have come back into this, refocused. We've got to see who's going to be starting, the way that the lineups are going to work. But it's, you know, a game of 4 quarters, 2 more to play.
4 quarters, we're about to go into the third. Let's hand you back to the commentators for the third quarter.
Thanks, guys. Well, anything could happen in the next 45 minutes or so. We've got 2 8-minute quarters to go. But it will take around 45 minutes for those 2 quarters to be played.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain there's more drama to come in this game. It's definitely not over. We look at the timeout situation. GB have 1 and France have none left. So here we go. It's another Hail Mary.
Well taken by Verdun. You mentioned it before half-time, Mandit. As a British player goes over, Cummins goes over. You mentioned it, that having possession at the start of the half would be significant because it means that now Great Britain are on the right side of the coin, as it were, in terms of when they score, they will now go ahead and France will have to come and equalise each time.
Yeah, it just highlights the importance of those last goals. Taking control of the clock for that 40-second shot clock and scoring that last goal ensures they have that possession going forward into the next quarter, which takes them into the lead.
So France have no timeouts left. Great Britain have 1. Do you think they will just use that 1 as and when they need it, or will there be some thought put into kind of saving it for later, if they can?
I definitely think it's going to be situational. Like you saw in the first half, that position with Johnny grabbing the ball, it's not one he wanted to take, but it was essential for them to retain possession.
1 minute.
Hands in there from Robinson. You saw the tussle for the ball, and Robinson got a little bit too physical, made bodily contact with Ivanat, and not just the ball.
Yeah, there's a fine line between reaching, and sometimes you can get eager as a player and reaching a little bit too early and a little bit of a touch of the other player's body, and it's a call in the box, and he's going to take a minute in the sin bin now.
Ivanat goes over for 28 points all, so quick as a flash. Robinson comes out of the sin bin immediately. Britain with the inbound, Nick Cummins. Nick Cummins actually has experience of winning medals just last year at the World Games in Alabama.
So you can see there, GB's about to take a timeout. Stuart Robinson going into the bin has put a bit of pressure onto GB because he's normally free to receive the ball, but the French team put 2 players on him as he was coming out the sin bin, and he was caught out of possession to receive the ball. That left a higher point player in for the French team to take out Jamie, and Nick Cummins decided to call a timeout.
So no timeouts left, and we are only just into the second half. That's unusual in itself.
Yeah, I think this is set up to be an epic final now with no timeouts left. Both teams are going to have to make decisions that are on the edge now.
Watch context.
So on a knife edge this final. Who's going to win the gold medal? Who's going to have to settle for silver? Hit in there from Ivanat on Stead. Stead protects the ball. And twisting and turning, going left and right. Shilly-shally from Aaron Stead to Stuart Robinson. Robinson to Nick Cummins, and Cummins is over. Great possession for Great Britain under intense pressure from the French.
Yeah, we needed that. All 3 players had the ball there to score that. A nice team try.
Perfect teamwork from the British team. Cummins was there to finish. So every time Britain attack, they should score and go ahead each time, and that is why turnovers are so significant in this sport. Ivanat does a little move there to get out of trouble, and off he goes.
Yeah, that's the skill Hibbert's got. He uses his trunk to fake, and he's always like, looks like he's going one way and switches out. The acceleration is so quick, it's so hard to stop and read.
Robinson has the ball near his own key. Cummins again doing the blocking work up front. Stead there as well. Coggan coming round the back of Robinson so he can get involved in the blocking.
Yeah, so Johnny trying to create a path there for Stuart Robinson, cutting through the French defence.
seconds on the shot clock. Could go either way here, Robinson. He could go through the centre, trying to barge his way through. Needs to get 2 wheels over the line. Realises he's not going to make it. Gives it to Stead, who does go over. A little bit more space for Stead, and that was mature, experienced play, as you would expect from Stuart Robinson, the 41-year-old.
Yeah, Stuart's up to 2 players there, and it just had a little bit of wiggle room for James just to score that try. Good work from both of them.
Robinson needed his mate to come and help him out there as France now attack through Le Guen. Le Guen looked around and only saw Nankin, who wasn't going to have the speed to score, but this man certainly does. For the umpteenth time today, even now.
Yeah, you can see how quickly Seb wrestled the ball off his low pointer there to release his high pointer. It's difficult to get the ball off, so sometimes the players just come in and take the ball off the low pointers.
I said umpteenth, it's actually 15th time even that has gone over today, making it something like 113 tries now, I think, for even at the tournament. This man not far behind Stuart Robinson. And you can see he is very much a leader out there as well. Does a lot of talking.
He's such a big player for GB. Controls the play, has that composure, that power, the aggression, and really controls the tempo of the game for Great Britain.
Coming forward now again, Verdun, who is absolute lightning. But the French, all of these scores are just bringing them back on level terms at the moment, whereas in the earlier quarters it was putting them ahead. They had the advantage.
There again, Johnny creating the pathway for Stuart Robinson to get out. Nice easy ball over the top for Jamie Stead to score that try.
Great support here for the British team. Lots of flags, Union Jack hats. We've got a man in a Union Jack suit as well, knocking around somewhere. And Ivanat will come forward for yet another try. Stead won't get there.
He's such a slippery player that you just can't get hold of him. He just wiggles out, and before you know it, he's scoring a try.
I read in one of the media guides, Ivanat described as a cardio machine. And you can see why, because he's going to play every minute of this match. You would expect he won't be substituted. Instead, as Robinson out wide for him, and Robinson should glide over the line. Coggan was there to block the oncoming French players if required. So 5 minutes to go in quarter 3 of this gold medal match. Remember, France, the hosts of the Paralympics next year in Paris. It's come around quickly, hasn't it, because of Tokyo being delayed by COVID. And Verdun goes on the gas and gets over easily. There's nothing to choose between these two at the moment.
Yeah, it's a case of who blinks first at the moment. Really is end-to-end stuff. Both teams play at the highest level right now.
So it's all about safe hands and not giving the ball away. Every pass needs to go to its intended target. Slightly risky pass by Robinson, but he knew Cummins was there.
Yeah, Nick Cummins provided the outlet there to score that try. Great work from there, Nick.
Oh, it's nervous.
You can see
for everyone.
You can see the tension in the crowd as well. Everyone's on the edge.
Is there anything you think either of the coaches will try and change tactically, or are they just going to let this go and see who makes the first mistake?
To be honest, it's very difficult to call now, because I think the teams are so evenly matched in terms of their players. It's going to be a case of the first unforced error.
Knockout was in on Cummins. Oh, they were close to not getting out of their own half there in the 12 seconds allowed.
That was an amazing pass there. What's being called here?
Just waiting to see what's being called, because the player wasn't able to call a timeout. And this is why the lack of timeouts is so costly, because they could have called timeout and almost prevented this infringement from happening. Is it hands in there from Ivanat?
Yeah, so Jonathan Hibbon's basically bailed out GB there by putting his hands in. He had great position there to get a turnover, and he decided to reach. And that's where you have to be very selective on when you reach and when you decide to put your hands in your pockets.
If he'd reached and got the ball cleanly, though, that would have been a turnover, but he must have made contact with the British player's hand or arm.
Yeah, I'm certain his coach didn't see it that way.
I'm not sure even I saw it that way either. He kind of gave a look as if to say, you are joking, to the referee. Now, the referee having a word with Paul Shaw.
Now what you might see here is our low point is either Johnny or Jack Smith go to the box now to try and pick up Jonathan Hibner before he comes on. It's actually Phipps's going there to pick him up, to trap him on that line.
So Steve, you're down there with, we can see Aaron Stead near the touchline, and he seems to be struggling a bit. We saw him kind of wince as he was getting out of that last contact. What did you see of it, Steve Brown?
Yeah, so I was sitting here watching from the sidelines. I'm about 20 foot away from Jamie Stead on the sideline, and I can see him still wincing. The players are very much strapped into the chairs. You want to be as tight into the chair as possible. And he's just having his legs taken out and having a bit of a stretch with the team manager. Leash is there just making sure that he's all right. He's still not looking comfortable. This could make a big difference to the lineups that GB can put out for the rest of the competition.
Jamie Stead has cerebral palsy. He'll be stretching those muscles out carefully, I imagine, but he doesn't look too happy with life at the moment, Mandip.
Yeah, he's a key 5-point player for Great Britain, and then in the stage of this game, it's going to be a case of just, strap it up and get back in.
Yeah, you can see him there wincing after the challenge. Some sort of cramp-like situation there for Stead, I think. So we hope he's able to come back out. Meanwhile, the match continues, of course, and Verdun for France, that's even inside him. It's going to be 35 points all. I'm just trying to see where Stead has gone. I think Stead, yeah, this is behind the court, really, as Robinson scores for Great Britain. So Stead obviously requiring treatment. We mentioned that injuries are pretty rare in this sport. I mean, that's an injury also connected to his disability as well, I would imagine, Mandip.
Yeah, it's difficult to guess what's happening there, because obviously he's stretching his leg and it seems like he might have pulled a muscle or injured his leg. I just hope he's going to be all right, because he's a key player for Great Britain, and we're going to need the depth in our team to get through this game.
Stead is a 2.5 player for Great Britain, one of the more agile players at Paul Shaw's disposal. Let's just flatten the atmosphere a little bit whilst we wait to see what happens with Jamie Stead, one of the Tokyo Paralympic gold medal winners. Now I think there's a situation with Verdun's wheel here, needs a new wheel.
Yeah, it's that man, Jonathan Collins, again coming down from defence, taking a hit and taking his tyre out.
Well, this is just ratcheting up the tension, really, isn't it, with this stoppage? Great Britain 36, France 35. And you can see just the sweat on Ivanar's brow there. He's worked so hard, and all of these players putting in so much physical effort, Mandip.
Yeah, he's one of the players that pushes 100% of the time, and he's key for France. If they lose him, they're going to be in trouble, so they've got to keep him on the court.
So Verdun to Ivanar, what a take that was on the move. Ivanar goes over. I think we can go down to our reporter, who is down the side of the court, and can give us an update on Jamie Stead's condition. Drew Lilly.
Yes, I'm just with Jamie now, and he says it's a really bad cramp and spasm, but he does hope to be coming back on. He's getting a lot of treatment, as you can see right now.
Thank you, Drew. That clears things up for us. It certainly looked like that kind of injury, and hopefully he will be back out. So we continue with just 3 minutes to go in this quarter, 36 points all. I'll tell you once more that the European final between these two last year was decided by a single point, and we're heading in that direction again, I would say.
Definitely looks like it's going to be a tight finish to this game.
And if it is a draw at the end of the 4 quarters, we would have a period of 3 minutes overtime. There is no penalty shootout equivalent as such. It is into a period of overtime. Now, the referee has spotted something here.
Yeah, Jack Smith just decided to have a little bit of a reach there to try and get the ball off Jonathan Hibner, and it was a quick call from the ref, an easy call, and it means Jack Smith goes into the sin bin for a minute.
No great harm done, because it was French possession anyway.
Yeah, sometimes it's that risk-reward thing, and as a player, you've got to make that decision to go in for it. Now, if he reaches in and gets that ball, he's going to be the hero, and sometimes you have to take that moment to take that risk.
Oh, what a bit of skill that was from Ivanat. Pass over the head. He's got all the tricks, this man. And he played in the Wheelchair Rugby League team that won that World Cup here in Britain last autumn. He's got all the skills. And the French fans lapping it up. 37 points all, 2.5 minutes to go in this quarter. Robinson with Coggan blocking Ivanat, meaning that Robinson just needs to get past Adrien Schaumann, but he's going to put the brakes on.
Yeah, that was a key example.
That is his 100th try, sorry, Mandip, that's his 100th try for Stuart Robinson at this tournament.
Yeah, it was a key example of how the team works together, with the low pointers coming to take out the opposition high pointers, so Stuart Robinson could go off freely and score that try.
That gesture where the player taps their own shoulders is to signify that they need a repair to their chair.
I'm trying to lose count how many tyres have gone today.
I know. Deary me. There is a Grand Prix this weekend, isn't there? I think in Miami. Got more tyres than F1 in Miami. So Ivanat inside his own key. Turns inside. He's got a teammate ahead of him if he needs him. But Ivanat goes again. On goes the acceleration. Left, right, and over he goes. Phipps, not even Aaron Phipps could stop him. 38 points all. This is an incredible match of wheelchair rugby. What a time to have a match of this quality. The gold medal match at the European Championships. Johnny Coggan, who has scored a number of tries today, but he has been invaluable in his defensive work as well, again allowing Phipps to come around the outside of him. And Phipps will go over. We're just approaching that time of the quarter as well, where players will start to look at the clock and just try and work out how they can make sure they have the last possession of the quarter.
Yeah, so far it's been an even quarter. It's been try for try for both teams, and not a lot of turnovers at all. It's been key. He scored the last try here in this moment. Oh,
Robinson,
the great still there.
He's flicked the ball out of Ivanat's hands.
Beautiful.
And the decision goes Great Britain's way. Ivanat, you can see him with his hands out, saying surely not. The referees now, hold on, the referees are talking to each other. And I think the decision has actually been reversed since the conversation between the two officials.
Yeah, so you can see that the ball came off Phipps as he tipped that ball out, so France retained possession. Someone lucky there.
Yes, all right.
Referee coming across to the table officials. I think that's just a clarification of what that referee has decided rather than changing it again. So France will start again with possession. We thought Great Britain had a turnover there.
You can hear the French crowd really celebrating that moment there as their team retained possession. But under pressure here, great pressure here from Stuart Robinson, and Seb seems to get out for that try.
Ivanat was trapped over there for a while, wasn't he? But he managed to get away. Here's the key moment again, Mandip.
Yeah, you can see Phipps could have almost got that ball if he had the speed to do it. Oh.
Phipps needs to get this. He needs to get it. And the ball's gone out. And the French have a turnover themselves. And a huge moment in the match. Oh, Mandip.
Yeah, it's a big moment. It's the first turnover for this quarter, and Phipps wasn't able to get that ball in. It just tipped out off his hand, and he tried to put it back in, but it's going to be a French ball.
Well, these turnovers are so crucial, as Mandip said earlier, more crucial than tries, really. They're certainly celebrated more than tries. A bunted inbound from the French. Oh, have they kept hold of it? They have. Verdun with 3 British players around, and that was almost so careless from France.
So close to getting another turnover there, Great Britain. It was so close. But Seb was just able to put the ball over to him as a score, and he's going for the last goal here.
Yeah, even now wanted to hang on to the ball for a little bit longer there, but he's over with 56 seconds to go in the quarter. Oh, it's gone chaotic here in the last few moments, Mandip.
After a pretty calm quarter, there is a lot of drama going on.
And it just shows you how quickly the match could just catch light. Phipps is over here, and he's held on to the ball. He's got no timeouts to call as he falls. So again, France are going to get a turnover here.
Yeah, so Phipps got hit there, and his body contacted the other player, so that's known as a holding foul. So obviously you're not allowed to touch the other player, and you can see he just leans over as he's hit, and that is a holding foul, which means it's a turnover for France.
Hugely significant moments in the gold medal match here. France 2 turnovers in a row, and they have 45 seconds here, the French. They could hold on to the ball and score right at the death of this quarter and have a 2-point lead going into the final quarter. Let's see how it pans out. Even out with Aaron Phipps's hands on his forehead virtually. To Verdun. They need to get out of this half. Verdun out of his half. So now he can slow down once more. GB badly need a turnover. Verdun still with possession, and he's free. Phipps comes back at him, but Verdun will want to count this clock down. He doesn't want to cross the line just yet. That's why he's turning back. Now he has just over 10 seconds. He'll head towards the line. He won't cross it though. He wants to use every last drop of this shot clock. Now he goes over, leaving Great Britain 9 seconds to respond. 2 points down. Critical moments this in the European final. Oh, and it's taken off Phipps's hands again. That was maybe a little bit impatient from Stuart Robinson. Oh, dearie me.
Yeah, it's just bubbling over here now for Great Britain, and they're slightly losing composure.
Need some calm heads out there. Oh, and Verdun across. And it was level a few minutes ago. France now have a 3-point lead.
It's a really tough end to this quarter for Great Britain. They need to score this try if they can. 3 seconds to be very difficult for Phippsy.
I'm not sure he's going to do it. No, time has run out. And France, the French bench are up on their feet. They're celebrating. The players are celebrating in their chairs. Oh, crucial moments as France take a 3-point lead into the final quarter. Great Britain will be scratching their heads as to how they've given that advantage away. So, Great Britain 3 points down. It's Great Britain 39, France 42.
Wow, well, what a quarter. It was neck and neck, like the whole game has been right up until the last 2 minutes. So many physicality, so much pressure, so much speed. But then France kept their composure and got those crucial turnovers. Steve, I mean, a rather uncomfortable last couple of minutes for GB there, wasn't it?
I'd certainly say so. You can see how much momentum France seemed to get there. Wasn't very nice for Great Britain at all. 2 or 3 turnovers in a row. It's not a situation you want to be in, particularly at this stage of the game. This level, pulling back 3 or 4 tries in a quarter isn't an easy task.
Well, we've got a chance to hear from Olympic hero Jim Roberts. Drew Linney's with him down on the sideline.
Jim, have GB just lost this in the space of 2 minutes of madness?
That was really impressive from France. They really upped the ante at the end of that quarter. Obviously, GB were leading for the majority of that quarter, and then France turned it up. One of the calls at the end there was a little bit questionable, in my opinion, but yeah, that is a big momentum swing for France.
I've been talking to some of the French fans, and they thought they didn't get the rubber green in the first half, so is this maybe the referees evening things out?
No, I think that the referees have been very fair, I think, so far. Obviously, it's a very hard game to referee. I've only done it a couple of times myself, and yeah, the players can give you a lot of grief.
One question that's on everyone's lips now, can Great Britain turn this around in the final quarter?
Oh, absolutely. GB have come back from bigger setbacks than this, and I'm sure they'll come out swinging in this next quarter.
Let's hope so. Thanks, Jim.
Thank you very much.
Steve? Right then, one more quarter. Can they do it? Can they come back from 3 tries down?
Well, if you've got time to lose 3 tries, then surely you've got time to get 3 tries back. If France can do it to GB, why can't GB do it to France? They're so evenly matched out there. This is going to be fantastic. Last 8 minutes of rugby for the competition. It's going to be a big 8 minutes.
Loving the positivity. Right, time for the 4th quarter. Let's go to comms with Andy and Mandip.
Hold on to your hats, everyone. This could get lively.
Yeah, GB going to have to dig deep here to try and get this game back on track. It's been a tough quarter, but we're in for the last one now.
So, a 3-point deficit, remember. No timeouts for either side. 3 becomes 4, which we were expecting, of course, because France had the first possession. But Great Britain badly need some turnovers in this quarter. Jamie Stead is back out there. He's okay again, which is good to see. We need Stead and all of the Tokyo heroes with all of that experience.
And off the ball, you can see GB are really working hard to tie up Verdun off the ball. But Hivenet's there again. His speed is something else at the moment. It's a real problem for GB to try and stop him.
That last quarter was 15-12 in France's favour, and it's the crucial advantage that they've carried in to this final 8 minutes of play. Nick Cummins cuddling the ball, can't afford to lose it. The pass isn't perfect, but Stead picks it up. Stead has Cummins there if he needs him, but Stead, I think, will use him as a decoy, like that. Nice shimmy from Stead. But in a sense, as we've been saying, the tries are what you'd expect at both ends. It's the turnovers Great Britain need.
Yeah, I think we went the whole of that quarter without any turnover in the last 2 minutes. France got 3 in a row, so it was unbelievable.
France with Ivanat, gets perilously close to going over his own try line, but manages to avoid that. That would have been an infringement. He knows exactly what he's doing, this guy. Noncan will block further ahead of him. And of course, France can generally now slow down the pace of play, as they are doing here, and try and use up as much of the shot clock every time they have possession.
Yeah, they're going to be confident now. They're, you know, their goals up, and they're just taking control of the game, slowing things down, knowing that GB have to chase. Great work from GB. Oh, just gets 2 almost over to score that try. Almost a turnover for GB, but not enough.
You can see the grimace almost from even as he was just trying here to get over, and he does. There's the front 2 wheels going over the line, but that was an illustration of how 40 seconds will pass for France if they can hold on to possession.
Trouble here for GB again. Great defense from France, and it's a big ball over the top.
Oh, it's loose, and Jimenez got it. And with that interception, you do begin to wonder whether the European title is heading to France again for the 2nd year in a row.
It's that man again, Jonathan Hivenet there, sweeping up to pick that ball up.
France are playing a perfect game at the moment. They have the advantage and they're making it pay. And again, you see, even at no rush whatsoever, he just knows that every time France attack, if he can eat up 35, 40 seconds, Great Britain are going to have no time to get back into this match. Even out twisting, turning, and over he goes.
Scores with a second left.
Oh, what a player this man is. He just seems to have a clock running in his head. Here's the interception again. Robinson went for the big pass down court to Cummins. Didn't come off. Ivanat has to be probably the star player of the tournament, Ivanat. And as you say, they had to get out of their half. PDQ there.
Yeah, GB are really having to work hard to get out the press at the moment. The French team are really being really aggressive. They seem to have clicked with their press. And there's a lot of trouble for GB to get out every time.
And you can feel that the crowd here in Cardiff, most of them wheelchair rugby viewers on a regular basis, because they've just gone into a bit of a lull because they know that GB are up against it. They need to lift the home side here, the fans. The French pocket of supporters absolutely joyful at the moment, as again, Ivanat takes his time. No rush for the French whatsoever, and that lead is 5. And a coach's timeout called. So there were no player-called timeouts left, but a coach's timeout called for substitutions to be made. So what will Paul Shaw do here, Steve Brown?
Well, you know, we're looking here. Paul Shaw's got some decisions to make, and they're all very tricky ones, aren't they? Let's be honest. When you're 5 behind in a situation like this, 5 minutes, 12 seconds left on the clock, that's a turnover every minute needed, and you're not going to get that sort of ratio very often in a game at this sort of level.
5 points behind and 5 minutes to go. Paul Shaw's put on a fantastic 4. Phipps and Robinson together with Jack Smith and Johnny Coggan but even this quartet are going to have to play out of their skins to get back into this gold medal match.
Yeah, it's going to take a monumental effort from GB to try and turn this deficit over. As you can see there, what a race there with the two players, and him coming out on top.
Somebody check Ivan's chair for an engine, because he has just burst down the wing. Look at that. My goodness me, the effort and also coordination to go that fast in a straight line. And there's another tip from Ivan. It's gone to Noncan. Noncan to Verdun.
Wow.
And France, you have to say, look, odds on now, they really do. And the more desperate Great Britain get, the more likely it is that they're going to give the ball away in situations like that.
France are just really playing the passing lanes really well, just intercepting every long ball. It's been difficult for GB to break that press. So much pressure down low, and every time they're receiving the ball lower and lower, and the French team are just capitalising on it.
Looks like the Paralympic champions are going to have to settle for being runner-up at 2 European Championships in a row. Tell you what, it sets up the Paris Paralympics next year absolutely beautifully, doesn't it? Live on Channel 4 for you next summer.
Yeah, the French team are gaining so much confidence going into our home games. Winning the European Championships is going to be big for them if they manage to keep this score as it is.
Verdun is completely free here, but again, he's put the brake on and in fact forced over by Phipps. He wanted to eat up a bit more time there, but to be honest, it's getting to the point in the match where it doesn't really matter in terms of eating up the clock now for the French, because they have a 6-point lead. It'd be a catastrophe for France to lose from this position. Something crazy is going to have to happen out there for Great Britain to win this gold medal. They'll keep on trying though. Robinson, the gap opens up straight ahead of him. He goes across, 45-50. How much mandate will the players be thinking about the scoreline at the moment, the British players? Is it just get your head down and just try and play as well as possible, or will they be aware of the situation?
Oh, they'll definitely be aware of it, and they're going to be trying everything they can to try and get that ball back and to score the tries, man. It's going to be difficult for them, but in the bottom of your heart, you've got to try. You know, anything can happen in the game, and in sport, stranger things have happened.
They're down 20 tries this afternoon alone, 20 of the 51 France have scored. Just over 3 minutes to go, 6 points down. Here comes Aaron Phipps. Phipps, who plays for the Solent Sharks. He's been around this Great Britain wheelchair rugby setup for around about 15 years now.
France are still pressing so hard and making it so difficult for GB to score a try, which is taking so much time off the clock for them.
Johnny Coggan scores another try, but it's not in such happy circumstances as earlier on. There was a real excitement around Coggan's tries earlier, but now they feel like they're not going to do the job here as Verdun takes possession, gives it straight to Ivanat. Ivanat will hang on to things here with Noncan in front of him. Look, acting as the battering ram, making space for Ivanat. He comes inside. Noncan again blocking Aaron Phipps. Full-on team effort this from the French. Every player playing their role.
Well, they're just happy to soak up the pressure now. They're tying up Aaron Phipps to take ticks off the clock to end the game as soon as they can with that 5-point lead.
And that left-right technique, one wheel then the other from Ivanat. It gets in places really fast. And over he goes with just 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Again, it's agonising for Great Britain. It's agonising for Paul Shaw. Nothing more that Shaw and his squad can do. Robinson with the ball, trying to hold it above the French players' hands to Phipps. Phipps thought he saw a gap, now he does, he's over, and it's 47-52, and Aaron Phipps, who we get so used to seeing the big grin on his face, well, he's not smiling now. France with the inbound to Verdun, and the French hands have been so secure, haven't they, in this quarter. And forward to Cedric Noncan. Can Noncan score? He will want to eat up the clock, but equally he'll fancy a try in a European final.
Yeah.
The 38-year-old scores.
That's been the difference between the two teams as the game's gone on, that the passing handling has been difficult for GB, and the French press has really made it difficult for them to get out.
Well, it started to go wrong for Great Britain in that third quarter. Let's be honest, this fourth quarter was always going to be a bit desperate for GB. The costly errors and turnovers were in the third quarter. And right at the end of that third quarter, it has to be said, with literally seconds to go. The British bench look on and they know the game is up.
Yeah, you would have hoped they would have reset in that after that moment and came into that last quarter with a bit more composure. But it seems to spill over, and they never recovered from it.
Steve, you are Mr. Optimistic, but even you would have to admit it's gone now, surely.
You know, sitting here watching how everything's going, it's very much a slower pace now than maybe we had at the start of things, isn't it? So slow. Looking at France just trying to eat the clock up. GB full of frustration, just wanting to get the game going.
1 minute 23 to go. France are going to be European champions for the second year in a row. Evenac will come forward. They'll try and score with around about 50 seconds to go here. And in fact, they may well try and just eat up the shot clock completely. He'll stop there. Shot clock counting down, 22-21.
Yeah, he's going to take time off the clock just to run the game down and to finish strong.
Over he goes. So France have got to 54 points. They have won every single match they've played at this European Championships. 3 out of 3 in the pool stage. Beat Denmark in the semi-final yesterday, and France are now going to beat Great Britain in the final. Possibly one last attack for Great Britain here. Robinson with Verdun right in his face. Robinson looks for Jack Smith to come and help him, which he does. Into Phipps. Phipps, I'm not sure, was expecting that, but he gets it back to Robinson and he's over. So just under 30 seconds to go. It's 54-49. Bob Van Acker, the French coach, the Belgian man, but he coaches this French side on the verge of a title here. That will mean a great deal to them leading into the Paris Paralympics next year. Verdun with the ball into the closing 15 seconds. He goes over. He goes over the line, and it is a 6-point deficit. Will Great Britain go for one big last score and get to 50 points themselves here? Robinson. It's the French fans singing. Coggan goes over, and it's fitting that... Oh, no try for Coggan. He just went over, I think, before taking the ball. 2.4 seconds to go in this match. And the French staff start to celebrate on the touchline. And there it is. France are European champions once more. The year before the Paris Paralympics, they have won another European title. 55 points to 49, the end result. And the French supporters are jubilant, the French players are jubilant. And Mandip, it was the third quarter that won it for France, wasn't it?
Yeah, devastation there for GB. It's been a tough end to the game, especially going tries down so badly. It's you know, was so close throughout, and yeah, I'm lost for words, to be honest.
Cedric Noncan here, huge grin on his face. Jonathan Ivanau, one of the star players. Aaron Phipps, as I said, we're so used to see him smiling, grinning, but he is devastated. Aaron Phipps. Great Britain will come back, I'm sure, at the Paralympics next year. Look at Stuart Robinson there, gutted. And look at the celebrations in that top corner of the stand there for the French supporters. So, after all that, a breathless wheelchair rugby final. It is Great Britain 49, France 55.
So the final of the European Wheelchair Rugby Championships saw the two best teams in Europe go head-to-head, Great Britain and France. It was a nail-biting affair for so much of the game. Back and forth, turnovers were key, physical, everything we expect from wheelchair rugby. But just as it got to the fourth quarter, France pulled ahead and got the win. So France retain their European Championship. Great Britain will be disappointed, but what a tournament we've had. Well, we can hear now from the successful French coach, Bob Vanacker. He's with Drew Lilly.
Bob Vanacker, you must be incredibly proud of your team defending their European Championship crown.
Well, I could have been more prouder than I am now. You know, we had pressure on us to regain the title. We knew against GB on their home soil it was going to be hard. They showed this week that they're so strong, and they showed it in the final as well. They put a lot of pressure on us, but you know, we kept our calm and stick to our game plan, and in the end we won the game, so happy.
You've played a lot of other teams from outside Europe, a lot of the really big teams like Japan, USA, Australia. Did that give you the kind of experience, the big match experience you needed for this final?
Yeah, I think so, because you know, I think GB, France and Denmark, they have shown that they're the strongest three teams in Europe. Well, Germany is there as well right now. But it's just by, you know, playing the top teams that you get better. And we tried to do it as much as possible. We had a tournament in Japan in January, and that helped us a lot. And I mean, yeah, you get better from playing good teams, and that's you know, it provided today. It's very, very good.
Paralympics on home soil next year. Under pressure now?
Well, it's not more pressure than there is now. I mean, I think we showed today that we can handle the pressure. They put a lot of pressure on us the first half, and the second half we put the pressure on them. So, I mean, I think we showed it last year, we showed it now on their home soil. So, I mean, we're ready for it.
Go and celebrate with your team. Thanks very much.
Thank you, thank you.
Steve, that's a confident French coach. Of course, they've got the home Paralympics. They're looking strong.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. They are looking strong. That was a real well-beaten performance out there. GB, third in the world, and then you got France from fifth in the world coming out that strong, particularly the second half. Some real magic stuff there from them.
Lads, we'll get into it in a second, but I think Drew's found Aaron Phipps, so we'll throw to him now.
Aaron, thanks for coming to talk to us at this moment when you must feel like just getting out of here and thinking about anything other than what happened in the last 2 minutes of the third quarter. It all seemed to change in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. Stu sent me the long ball. I wasn't able to keep hold of it. And then dreadful call. They smashed the ball out of my hands and then went to them. But yeah, that's how close this game is now. I mean, we were goal for goal the entire time, and they just got a tiny momentum swing on us. Gutted, absolutely gutted.
I can imagine you are. What positives, though, can you take out of the tournament?
I think in that final, our coach has been saying to us, you know, we don't lose, we get beat, and we got beaten today, so I'm happy with that. You know, we didn't do anything stupid. It was just they played a bit better than we did. But in terms of the tournament, I just got to say a massive thank you to everyone that's come and supported us. Wales has put on this amazing event for us. I'm getting a bit choked. It's been, like, to think how far this sport's come now to packed out stadium is fantastic.
Thanks for talking to us. Cheers.
Well, an emotional Aaron Phipps, and rightfully so. It has been an amazing event. Look, all the reactions and the trophy celebrations after the break. So France are crowned European champions. They've retained their title from last year, and what an incredible tournament they've had. I'm joined by Steve and Manny. Guys, deserved winners in the end. I mean, GB will be gutted, but France were brilliant all tournament, weren't they?
Yeah, definitely. They've had the consistency throughout the tournament and build up momentum throughout it, and you know, deserved winners tonight. It's been a difficult game for GB, and especially the way they've lost in that third quarter. But the French were brilliant, they really were.
Yeah, I mean, don't we have to stay impartial as presenters? I don't think we're meant to have an opinion on who we wanted to win, but how disappointing was that? That third quarter, those last 2 minutes, and you just saw the wheels slowly starting to fall off, the nuts and bolts becoming a little bit looser. And of course they had the injury as well with Jamie Stead. Maybe they wanted to make changes that they didn't get the opportunity to change when they wanted. I mean, it's sport, you have to roll with it, but you know, things go in your favour, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, look, the presentation party are coming on at the moment, and GB, you know, let's just touch on them briefly. They will be disappointed with that end result, and they ran out of steam, didn't they? Because they were looking so good in the first half, but couldn't quite get over the line. What do you put that down to, Steve?
You know, the poetry, it was like watching a picture being painted, those first 2 quarters before the half-time whistle. Everyone working together so well, it was so fluid and confident. And then it only takes one turnover that can really just get under the skin, get in the back of your mind, make you start now second-guessing your passes, make you start doubting your ability, and make you stop communicating. One of the biggest things about wheelchair sports within wheelchair rugby and others is that you need to be on the same page as your teammates. If you start going inwards, it's much harder to show yourself outwards to your teammates.
Yeah, if you seem to lose a bit of confidence, it can be devastating. You can see in the sport, turnovers don't come on very often, and when they do, it's big. You know, they come in momentum, and you could see that momentum shift going into the fourth quarter for GB, and they never recovered.
But you can't take anything away from France, can you? You know,
no,
France,
they were great.
This wasn't about Great Britain didn't lose like by you know, some sort of default. They was played off the park by France.
But look at the face there, Stuart Robertson, absolutely gutted. But look, let's talk about some positives. The tournament as a whole has been unbelievable. Watch the medal ceremony now here in the Principality Stadium, one of the most iconic rugby stadiums in the world. The crowd have been loud, the kids have been here. It's been great.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about a wheelchair rugby competition, this has been right up there with some of the best. First time Great Britain have, look what it means, when I say about it being the best, this is what it's all about. You know, these are big moments for international superstars, and them having the opportunity to have a stage like this, whether it's their country or another, is an absolute picture.
Yeah,
he's been such a key player for France as well. It's great to see him showing that emotion. You know, it's been key for France and he's led them to this victory. Really has.
Yeah, he's been absolutely outstanding, honestly. And you know, seeing that emotion, you know, it's not just about winning a game with your mates. You know, it's about the sport as a whole. What it means. Wheelchair rugby is more than just a game, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, man. For these athletes, it's a way of life. They put so much time and effort to be the best they can be, and you can see how much it means to them to come here and compete in this great stadium, this great event, and to win.
And it's deeper than that. You know, a lot of these people playing and in terms of coaching and support staff, they've had a lot gone on in their lives. They've had big injuries, they've had changes in their lives that are irreversible. And having an environment where you can be surrounded by people that understand that, people that can support you whilst you support them, you learn about what it means with this new life you've got, and you're part of something where you can still champion, where you can still have a vision and a goal and a focus and be part of something that's bigger than you, despite everything you've been through, and having medals put around your neck at the end of it. That is what sport and what wheelchair rugby is about.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And not just for people with disabilities. We've seen everyone here cheering away, the kids looking up to Aaron Phipps. His headband's been all around the place. You know, he'll be devastated now, but it's been an incredibly emotional and inspirational thing to see. And we're going to hand up to Andy now, because it's time for GB to collect their medals.
Yes, thank you, Ed. What a magnificent tournament it's been, and all 3 teams who finished on the podium are receiving their medals. We've seen Denmark receive their medals in their grey tracksuits on the right-hand side there, and Mark Drakeford, the First Minister of Wales is going to give the silver medals to the Great Britain squad. Coral Beatty, whose birthday it was yesterday, she would have been as desperate as any of her teammates to win gold today. Coral Beatty, I'm sure, will be back, as will most of this squad, you would imagine, at the Paralympics next year in Paris. Jamie Stead, who had that injury midway through the match, instead takes the silver medal off as soon as it's gone on. Stuart Robinson holding himself together. He's so angry with how things panned out. But Great Britain will be back, and don't forget they'll be defending their Paralympic title in Paris next year. But what a French team this is. They've won every single game here in Cardiff this week. And Jonathan Ivanat in tears as he waits for his gold medal. He won the Wheelchair Rugby League World Cup with France last autumn, and now he's won the Wheelchair Rugby European Championships. Cedric Nonquin, a big favourite with the crowd. We didn't see number 1 in the final, Nicolas Valentin. But every single one of these French players has contributed to this gold medal. Not just the players who score the tries and do the brilliant speedy moves down the court, but the players who are doing the dirty work, the hard work of the defending, the blocking. Rodolphe Jalin, number 5. And the French players absolutely delighted and proud. We didn't see Riyad Salem today in the final either, but he has had a brilliant tournament as well. Born in Tunisia, the 52-year-old. And now that they have their medals, it's time to receive the trophy, and the trophy will be handed over by Richard Allcroft, President of World Wheelchair Rugby. And a beautiful trophy it is too. Ivanat, who comes forward to take the trophy. For the second time in 2 years. It is France who are European champions. And they will be very, very difficult to beat in Paris next year at the Paralympics. The trophy will be passed along the entire squad. Every player will get their moment with the silverware. And they will enjoy their night, I'm sure, in Cardiff before they head home. So France are European champions, and what can they do on home turf at the Paralympics next year? What a tournament it's been. Congratulations to France.
Yeah, fantastic scenes there, guys. I mean, the French national anthem now, so we'll take a second to listen to this because it is beautiful. So great scenes there, French national anthem ringing around the Principality, which is done many times before, but not for a wheelchair rugby team. They'll be crossing the channel, very proud gold medal winners and retainers of the European Championship.
Fantastic rugby throughout the whole competition. And I must declare this the best European Championship ever seen.
So disappointing end to a great tournament for Great Britain, and I'm pleased to say I'm joined by Paul Shaw right now, GB coach. I know, Paul, you don't want to be here sat after a result like that probably, but what was your take on things? How did it end up going France's way in the end?
Small margins. We had the game in control. A couple of things didn't go our way, and we didn't react strong enough to that, and that's how the game ended.
It's such a game of small margins and momentum, isn't it? And once you've lost that momentum, if you start chasing the game, it seems as though that's when it can get away from you.
I think it's a mental thing as well, because when you're chasing, I don't think you're as composed. So, you know, congratulations to France, but we'll be back again.
I'm sure you will. Obviously, we're a year out from the Paralympics. I know you've probably got to take some time to digest this a little bit more and work out the roadmap between now and then, but what does it look like the next few months for you, starting to prepare for that?
Well, we've already started preparing for Paris, as long as we qualify, which is what we've done. So we've got things in place. We'll be working really, really hard away from that, and this has got to spur us on to go into the Paralympics next year.
Yeah, of course, and France obviously put in a great performance. We've been watching it all tournament. They've been very strong, haven't they? Yeah. GB have been great up until that point, but deserved winners.
Yeah, I mean, it's been really strange. You're watching the two pools, and obviously Great Britain top of their pool, France top of theirs, then right all the way through the crossovers, right up to the final. It was very hard to call, Paul. You know, you sit there and you're looking at it, and of course there's a big part of you that's hoping and wanting for Great Britain, but you know France might be ranked 2 or 3 places below you in the world, but they're not 2 or 3. There's not a chasm in it, is there?
I think with the top 6 teams in the world, we're all very, very close. I think Denmark proved it last year. They can beat Australia. So yeah, I think the top 6 teams are very, very strong.
But you was here with me, Manny, wasn't you? Going, oh no, oh yes, oh no, oh yes.
It's devastating as GB players, ex-GB players, to see it happen. You know, we always want to win, especially on our home tournament. But the key positive for us is we've gone on and we've qualified for Paris, and that's huge. You know, we wanted to be in that, and you know, getting to that situation where we've qualified now is good. So
it always feels, you know, bittersweet, doesn't it? When on a big world stage. You've got the momentum and the ability to get a gold at the Paralympics, but then you're here on your home turf, and you know you want to do it as much for the crowds and the home and the support and the family as much as the players, don't you?
Well, we've been talking all week about how the friends and family and the crowd have really supported us, and we just want to thank them more than anything for what they do for us day to day. But unfortunately, it didn't happen this time. So Paris next year, we're built for that.
Paul, just finally, a couple of positives to take away from the tournament.
Not right now.
No.
Too early for that.
That's been very good.
Yeah.
We're much closer team than we were before we came in.
Yeah.
And we'll go away even strong from that.
Thanks, Paul. Best of luck for the next few months, and of course in Paris we'll see you there for sure. Right now, Drew is with some of the French fans.
Johnny, you were looking quite emotional out there. There was a tear in the eye when you came down the tunnel. How does it feel?
I'm so happy. It's just remember for a lot of work to go to the right level for the French team, beginning at 27th place in the world. It's constant for evolution now every year, every time. And I have a dream for the French team, the best. Go to the medal for Paris 2024 Paralympic Games.
Right, so that's what you're aiming for now, is it? You think you can get on the top of the podium in a year's time in Paris?
It's an idea. So just now to profitable the title of European Championships and go to work hard and again and focus for the best for the French team now.
Congratulations, félicitations.
Thank you so much.
Well, a very happy Jonathan Hibbert, and rightfully so. I mean, he was outstanding, wasn't he? A key player for France, but there was also a lot of key moments in that half, and a lot of them based around turnovers.
Yeah, he's a big part of it, and the turnovers, you know, he makes them.
Yeah, he's such a big character, both on and off court, and you can see that he's at the heart of every play. Every time there's a turnover or there's an interception, he's there, and he's scoring the tries, and such a big player for France.
He reads the game so well. He's got this like innate ability to know when that ball's going long, where it's going, and how to get in the way of it.
We've spoken about it this week, haven't we, guys? You know, when you've got the top teams, you're almost expected to score. So you see teams celebrating the turnover more than a try, which seems a bit counterintuitive when you watch him for the first time.
Yeah, that's elite sport though. Yeah, it's end to end. You're expected to score every try, and that's how it goes. So when you do get that turnover, it's celebrated. You want to let the other team know that you've got that turnover. It's so psychological to get that moment and to say, yes, we've got it.
Steve, what were you? Were you getting the turnovers or you scoring the tries? I reckon you were glory, weren't you?
Yeah, I was a bit of both. I'd get the ball, get a turnover, maybe pass it and then get it back for the try. No, it's amazing, isn't it? Because when you get a turnover, you're all out of position.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Don't forget you're set up to defend. And when you do your defending well and you get the ball, now everyone's out of position to attack. So that is why so often you'll get a turnover followed by another turnover because you're not set up. Oh, we've got the ball now. Oh no, we're all in the wrong place to have the ball, and then you have to rethink, recalibrate, and go again.
It's the teams that have the composure in that moment to realise there's a turnover and to switch from offense to defence and vice versa. They're the ones that get the tries over.
Yeah, and we've talked about it all week about the inclusivity of wheelchair rugby, and often the turnovers happen when the 0.5s are blocking the threes and the 3.5s. You know, they're just as important. But talking about a 3.5, Drew is with Stuart Robertson. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Stu, there was 6 points in it at the end, but it really wasn't a 6-point match, was it? It was so close up until 2 minutes from the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, it was always going to be a really tight game playing against France. I think that those little small margins that sometimes you get heads, sometimes you get tails, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we came away with the silver medal and France came away with the gold, so yeah.
So the French have just been singing La Marseillaise, their national anthem, here on our home soil. You're going to turn it around next year and sing God Save the King when in Paris 2024?
That's the idea. Yeah, fingers crossed we'll get out there and put a performance in. It's all well and good being back-to-back European champions, but we're going to go out there and be back-to-back Paralympic champions.
That's what we like to hear. Thanks very much, Stuart.
Oh, Stu managed to keep a bit of a smile on his face. Good on him. What a weekend we've had here in Cardiff, eh?
Yeah, it's been something special, hasn't it? You come here, Principality Stadium, Wales, great venue, great crowds, and fantastic world-class rugby.
Yeah, it's been absolutely amazing. The crowds have been amazing. Great rugby, and it's paved the way for more tournaments in Great Britain. It's been absolutely brilliant.
But for all those people who've seen wheelchair rugby for the first time, how might they get more involved with the sport?
You've got websites, you've got teams up and down the country. You type in wheelchair rugby, where to find it, how to play it, you will find it. It's all there and it's very accessible. Not just in terms of finding it on the website, but playing it as well.
You're more than welcome to come join my team at the Coventry Stampede in the Midlands if you're there. So.
Recruitment push,
yeah,
I love that.
And if you're in the south, I've got a team for you as well.
Where's your team, Steve?
Down in Canterbury.
Oh, absolutely shameless. Love it, guys. Look, it's been an absolute pleasure being here with you both. Manny, Steve, thanks for joining us. Andy and Comms, Drew, everyone, it's been great. The crowd's been amazing. Cardiff has been incredible. Disappointing for Great Britain, of course. France head back over the channel as champions. But wow, wheelchair rugby is alive and kicking. What a weekend.